A crucial battle between two of the top teams in the West Division is about to take place here at Spillane Field as the Cotuit Kettleers have hit the road to square off against the Wareham Gatemen, and a battle between the second and third place teams here in the West Division on the Kettleers Radio Network. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt. And Joe, these were the top two teams in the West Division for what felt like most of the year. Hyannis has really surged as of late, and both these teams have really struggled as the season has progressed.
Yeah, they have. These are two teams who, in their last couple of games, have really struggled and went really ice cold when you look at the last couple, especially for Wareham, as they've now lost 5 straight games. Just 3 hits last night in their game against Chatham. They lost that game 4-0. The Kettleers are also coming out off of a 4-0 loss where they only got 4 hits on the board. So these are two teams that are really struggling at this point in the season. One team is going to come out on top today and right the ship. The other one going to continue their struggles. So we'll see how that shapes up as we get set to go here in a few moments.
And you mentioned the struggling Kettleers, and it's really been an offense that has struggled as of late. And Joe, why don't you take us through how the Kettleers line up offensively?
Yeah, it's a bit of a new look lineup today with Brandon Compton batting leadoff for the first time. He's batting right before Nathan Hall, who bats second. Tanner Thatch bats third, plays at first base. Devin Taylor is the DH. He bats cleanup. Charles Davalon at straightaway center bats fifth. Jaron Advincula, the second baseman, bats sixth. Grant Jay is behind the dish batting seventh. Tyler Cerny at shortstop and Timo Becerra at third base. Those are the 8 and 9 for the Kettleers order today, facing Cole Lehman, the righty.
Cole Lehman, the tall righty out of Lehigh, taking the mound as Wareham fashioning the Redshirt Friday jerseys with the camo hats. The lefty, Brandon Compton, digging in. Lehman's first pitch looked at inside for ball one as Compton starts out the day up in the count 1-0. Compton playing in his 35th game this summer, the second on the Kettleers with 35 hits, still hitting at a .302 clip, 35 hits and 116 at-bats. As the 1-0 pitch misses inside to the lefty, he's up in the count 2-0.
So what? Second.
This is the 7th start of the season for Cole Lehman, who has a 1-3 record, a 6.52 ERA as his third pitch catches the strike zone as Compton's still up in the count 2-1. Lehman has struggled as of late in 19 1/3 innings tossed. He's allowed 17 hits, 14 earned runs, striking out 17 batters in those 6 appearances. The 2-1 on the way. Compton rips this one into the right center field. Gap battle dunked down in front of the center fielder, William Parker, as Brandon Compton reaches with a leadoff single.
Great piece of hitting by Brandon Compton, who gets that pitch middle and just shoots it to the right center field alleyway. And that's really the start that the Kettleers needed, as they've been held to just 9 hits in the last 20 innings, Alex. So just a crazy mark going into this game where they're still looking for their first run since Tuesday night, and that's a good start right there.
It's been 20 straight innings for Cotuit that they've been held scoreless. Their last run came back on July 30th. It was an RBI groundout by the man who leads off first, that being Brandon Compton. Batting second is the right fielder, Nathan Hall. The righty takes a first pitch strike in there from Lehman. Taking a look at how Wareham aligns defensively, Colby Turner gets to start in left field. William Parker, he plays in center. Reese Chapman starts in right. From third to first on the infield is Murph Gray, Antonio Jimenez, Johan Desero, and Eli Putnam. And getting the start behind the dish is Jacob Jarrell. The 0-1 offering taken high to the righty Hall as the count evened up at 1-1. Hall was used as a pinch hitter yesterday. Reached in both of his plate appearances. Singled and also worked a walk as he pinched hit for Easton Winfield, who's out of the lineup today. As the 1-1 taken low and outside to Hall, he's up in the count 2-1.
So what? Back at him. Come on, babe, bring it.
The last 4 games for Nathan Hall, struggling as of late, just 1 for 9 with 3 strikeouts, has walked twice. Pickoff move nearly got away from the pitcher Lehman as Eli Putnam had to make a leaping grab as Compton goes back to the bag.
Yeah, not too much of a stolen base threat as Brandon Compton, just 1 for 2 on the season so far, but still having to pay close attention and try to switch up the looks for Nathan Hall.
Lehman deals the 2-1 pitch. This one shot. That'll get down into left field. A bullet line drive off the bat of Nathan Hall Colby Turner fields. He will relay that ball in, and back-to-back singles for the Kettleers as moving up to second is Compton.
Well, the start of this game working out really nicely for the Kettleers as 2 quick singles, and now you have the most powerful bat in this lineup set to dig in, and that puts an end to his 10 straight games that he was the leadoff hitter. Performed really well there, but Mike Roberts, knowing that this team has struggled offensively, is shuffling up the lineup today, and we'll see if it pays off here in the first inning.
Thatch hitting .313 as a leadoff hitter, now finds himself batting third after an 0-for-8 stretch in his last 2 games. Looks at a first pitch strike on the fastball from Cole Lehman. Now, these are situations that Tanner Thatch has thrived in all season, hitting with runners in scoring position, hitting .406. 13 for 32 with 18 RBIs. As this one rocketed, that'll dunk down into right field. Fielding it is Reese Chapman. Brandon Compton will get the stop sign at third. So it's 3 consecutive singles for the Kettleers as they load the bases for Devin Taylor.
But out of the gates firing are the Kettleers today. I mean, 3 balls that have been barreled off the bats, and Cole Lehman has struggled to put it past these hitters so far, but that one right there bobbled by Reese Chapman in right field for a moment, but Brandon Compton still being held up at third as there are still no outs in the inning, and now Cotuit a big opportunity with the bases juiced and Devin Taylor digging in.
So here is the lefty Devin Taylor working against the righty Lehman, working out of the stretch, has the black glove set just above the belt. Takes a look at Compton, now comes home with the first pitch that's taken for ball 1 beneath the knees, and another perfect day for baseball here at Spillane Field. Temperature sitting just around 80 degrees. Sun is shining. Lehman peers in. Now comes set. Kicks and deals the 1-0 to Taylor. Big swing and a miss as the count evened up at 1-1. Productive day at the dish for Taylor yesterday. Went 1 for 1, reached in all 4 plate appearances, drawing 3 walks. Taylor hitting .272 through 25 games as a Kettleer. The 1-1 pitch, spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Gerald. As that ball ricocheted down the first base line, staying put at third base is Compton.
Yeah, great block there by Jacob Gerald, who does a good job just to keep that baseball in front. And even though it kicks a couple of feet up that first base line, he looks Compton back to third. And now Devin Taylor still with an advantage in the count right now at 2-1.
Taylor has struggled with runners in scoring position this year, hitting just .217. Does have 9 RBIs here as the 2-1 offering once again misses low and inside. So he's up in the count 3-1. Not the spot that you want to be in if you're Cole Lehman. With the bases loaded, still no outs in the first inning, and down in the count 3-1 against such a dangerous hitter in Devin Taylor. Lehman set, deals the 3-1. Taylor checks his swing. He does go around, so the count is full and on a half-hearted attempt by the lefty Taylor.
Yeah, he just was indecisive up there, and that pitch still a called strike, so having to respond here with the count full.
Lehman peers in. Now comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals the payoff pitch. Broken back, Taylor pops this one high up on the infield. Moving to his left is Eli Putnam, but he gets called off by Johan Desero. That's a big first out for Cole Lehman, getting the pop-up against Devin Taylor.
Yeah, great way for him to battle back, throwing that pitch low and outside to get the called strike, and then jamming Devin Taylor on the final pitch there. It broke his bat right off the midsection of it, and an easy pop-up for Eli Putnam to field in the infield grass, and that's a key first out of the inning for Wareham.
So here is Charles Davallon. Just like many on this Kettleer roster, struggling as of late, 0 for 7 in the last 2 games. Swings at the first pitch, grounds out off the glove of Eli Putnam, but they're going to say that hit Tanner Thatch. As racing home was Brandon Compton, but that ball deflected off of Tanner Thatch, and they're going to bring both the base runners back. So Nathan Hall retreats to second. Moving back to third is Brandon Compton, and an unfortunate mistake for the Kettleers as that ball just deflected right off the foot of Tanner Thatch.
It's really been a microcosm of the last couple of days. I mean, that one right at Tanner Thatch, and it barely kicks off of him. Eli Putnam was there as well. It would have been a tough play for him to make, so Wareham likely bailed out on that play, but there's still a chance here with 2 outs in the inning, and Jaron Advincula at the plate with the bases juiced.
Cole Lehman loaded the bases, gave up 3 consecutive singles to begin the inning. Now he's just one out away from stranding the bases loaded. Here's Jaron Advincula, who grounds this right to the shortstop. Moving in is Antonio Jimenez. His throw not in time. Jaron Advincula beats it out. It's an infield single as Brandon Compton races home to score. And Cotuit takes an early 1-0 advantage, snapping their scoreless inning streak at 20.
Yeah, no better way to put an end to that streak by scoring in the top of the first inning. Even though they loaded the bases with no outs, they're still able to bring at least one of these runs home. So bottom line is they're able to take a lead in this ball game. You just would have hoped that this offense could really break out of that slump with a big inning.
So here is Grant Jay, the righty. He's hitting just 145 this summer. Coming up in a big spot with the bases loaded, still 2 outs. First pitch, Jay goes around. Checked his swing, but it was a half-hearted attempt from the Kettleers catcher, who's playing in his first game since July 30th against Harwich when he went 0 for 2, did reach on a walk.
Let's go, Cole.
Scored a run in that game. As the 0-1 from Lehman, that one low and outside as Shea lays off. A nice stop by the catcher, Jacob Gerald. He went with a backhanded snag to keep that ball in front. It's been a tough couple of games for Grant Jay. Since July 7th, he's played in 11 games, 2 for 33. Hitting at a .060 clip as he hits a high towering pop-up down the first base line, and that's twisting out of play. Past the visitors' grandstand. Fans filling up the grandstand behind the Kettleers dugout and just to the left of it. Lehman peers in. The count is 1-2 with the bases loaded. The Kettleers lead 1-0 here in the first inning from Spillane Field. The 1-2 on the way to Jay. Fouled straight back into the fence.
Good competitive swing, though, from Grant Jay, who was on that pitch. Just missed it, laced it straight back into the fencing, and he's someone who takes healthy hacks every time he's up there at the plate. Just got to figure out a way to make solid contact.
That's been the issue for Grant Jay so far this season. 38 strikeouts through 69 at-bats. The 1-2 again to Jay. This one hit. That'll dunk down into left field. 1 run's coming to score. Davalon gets the wave. The relay throw cut off by Murph Gray at third. It's a big 2 RBI single for Grant Jay as the Kettleers take a 3-0 lead.
Boy, that's got to feel good for Grant Jay. Tore the cover off that baseball through the 6-5 hole on the left side of the infield and driving in his first runs since a home run back on July 12th at Harwich. So a massive drought that Grant Jay finally puts to a close just a couple of days before playoffs.
RBIs 10 and 11 for Grant Jay this season. Now that'll bring up the shortstop Tyler Cerny. With Jaron Advincula standing on second, Grant Jay leading off first. The opening pitch to him bounces up to Gerald in the dirt. Cerny's up in the count 1-0. Tyler Cerny hitting .194 in 28 games. Was used as a pinch hitter last night. Was 0 for 2. Popped up to end the game in the 4-0 loss against the Harbor Hawks. The 1-0 taken high. Righty-righty matchup as Cerny's up in the count 2-0 here.
So what? Here we go, Cole.
Tyler Cerny had a 5-game hitting streak to end the month of July. Was 5 for 18 during that stretch with 3 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. He's been 0 for 5 in his last 2 games, striking out twice. Lehman takes a look back at Advincula, who's dancing off second. Fires home the 2-0. That's in there for called strike 1. Lehman's pitch count continuing to rise here in this first inning. 26 pitches, 16 strikes, 10 balls. The righty continuing to work out of the stretch. Has the black glove set at his belt. Leg kick and deals the 2-1. A hard line drive foul. Cerny was on that ball just a tad late, but the count evened up at 2-2.
Guys.
Cole Lehman gave up 3 consecutive singles to begin the inning, then got 2 outs, and then gave up an infield single to Jaron Advincula and a 2 RBI single to Grant Jay. Lehman takes a look back at Advincula, who continues to dance off second. Now comes home. Cerny fouls one down the right field line. Another twisting foul ball. He's doing a good job staying alive in this at-bat, Now up to 5 pitches.
And he hit the light pole. Third time this year. It's got to be, I think it's the third time this year. That's awesome.
Pinpoint accuracy off the bat of Tyler Cerny. Looking to stay alive and continue to fight in this count against Cole Lehman. The 2-2. Cerny, a high towering pop-up going back on it is Eli Putnam. Now coming in is the right fielder Reese Chapman, who makes the running grab for the third and final out of the inning, but not before the Cotuit Kettleers bats come alive. Here in this first inning, they record 3 consecutive singles to begin the inning as they put up 3 runs and an RBI single by Jaron Advincula and a 2 RBI single by Grant Shea. So Cotuit leading 3-0 after the top of the first. We'll step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there.
A great start for Cotuit from Spillane Field as they tally 3 runs on 6 hits in the top of the first, as Luis Misla taking the bump for the Kettleers as he squares off against the Wareham Gatemen. And Joe, how do the Gatemen line up?
It'll be Johan Desereau to lead things off for them against Misla, then Colby Turner. Murph Gray bats third. Jacob Jarrell in the cleanup spot. Reese Chapman plays right field and bats fifth. Eli Putnam after him, the first baseman, sixth. Antonio Jimenez is headed to Central Florida this upcoming season. He bats seventh. Maurice Rivera bats eighth, and then William Parker rounds things out in the 9-hole.
They will face the lefty Luis Misla, who's making his first start as a Kettleer and first appearance all the way back from July 21st. That was a game against YD where he went an inning and 2/3. Didn't allow a hit, did allow a run. Walked a batter and didn't strike out a batter, tossing 22 pitches, 12 for strikes. But Misla on the year, no win record, a 13.5 ERA in 4 appearances. It's only gone 4.2 innings, allowing 6 hits, 7 earned runs, striking out 5. A lefty-lefty matchup here against Johan Desereau as the first pitch from Misla taken low and outside for ball 1. Desereau's been on a tear, especially in his last 10 games, as he weighs through a fastball from Misla that was low in the dirt, as the count evened up at 1-1. The last 10 games, Desereau hitting .366, 15 for 41. With 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, as he fouls the 1-1 pitch back out of play. So Misla up in the count 1-2. Desereau having such an excellent season, hitting .330, tonight being his 28th game played. Misla looks in, kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch, got him swinging. Pulled the string on Johan Desereau as he fans on the breaking ball as he's retired for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, pretty slider there from Luis Misla. Breaks away from the left-handed swinging Johan Desereau, his first strikeout of the outing. And yeah, you mentioned Misla getting his first start for the Kettleers this summer, but that was the role that he was in at SUNY Cortland this past season, where all 14 of his appearances were starts.
Now it's the righty Colby Turner who swings out a first pitch, launches this one in a straightaway right field. Coming in on it is Nathan Hall, who makes the grab for the second out. And taking a look at how Cotuit aligns defensively, Brandon Compton, he starts in left field. Charles Davalon plays in center. The aforementioned Nathan Hall starts in right. Timo Becerra gets the start at the hot corner. Tyler Cerny starts at shortstop. Jaron Advincula, he plays second base. Tanner Thatch is back at first base, and getting the nod behind the dish is Grant Jay. With 2 gone in the inning, that'll bring up the ever-dangerous Murph Gray. First pitch from Miesla, looked at for strike 1. Gray this year hitting .323 with 5 home runs as this one lined right to Tanner Thatch at first base, who makes a little leap and gloves it down for the third and final out of the inning. So an excellent start from Mike Roberts' squad here in the first inning from Spillane Field, as they score 3 runs in the top of the first and work a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, as we're through 1 from Spillane Field. Cotuit leading 3-0.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Yeah. 9-1-2 here in the top of the second from Spillane Field. Cotuit leading 3-0. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt. And Joe, you couldn't ask for a better start in that first inning.
No, you couldn't. I mean, 3 barreled baseballs in the top 3 of this order. First it was Brandon Compton, then Nathan Hall, then Tanner Thatch, and then ran into some issues that we saw from the last couple games, though, with Devin Taylor working deep into that count, but then eventually an unproductive out, and then Charles Davalon hitting Tanner Thatch with a line drive to get the second out. But luckily, Jaron Advincula and Grant Jay were able to follow through, and they brought home 3 runs scored in the top of the first inning and a much-needed offensive output after 20 scoreless frames.
20 scoreless innings for Cotuit over the last 3 games. And over the last 3 games, they're 2 for 23 with runners in scoring position. They've left 23 guys on as the first pitch to Timo Becerra misses the zone for ball 1. And 10 of those guys that they've left on base have been in scoring position, and it's been tough for this Kettler offense, an offense that usually has been firing on all cylinders for a large portion of the season. The 1-0 to the righty Becerra. This one shot, that'll dunk down into left field in front of Colby Turner. It's the 7th hit of the day for the Kettleers as Becerra is on with a leadoff single.
Yeah, Becerra's first hit since last week. It was last Friday against Bourne, July 26th, so that's got to feel great for him, who hit a rough stretch at the plate, was one of his last 13, but now wasting no time to make a difference on the board, and now they'll send it back to the top half for Brandon Compton.
Compton already 1 for 1 today. Singled and came around to score back in the first inning. As Becerra takes a short lead off first, the opening pitch from Lehman, taken for a called strike 1 just around the knees of Brandon Compton. Lehman pitching this past year at Lehigh at a 2-3 record, 2.31 ERA, making 11 starts. In 46 2/3 innings pitched as Compton grounds this one hard down the right field line, but foul. He's named to the second team All-Patriot League. Had a start late in the year April 26th against Holy Cross, where he only gave up 1 run in 7 2/3 innings pitched, striking out 8 batters. Count is 0-2 against the lefty Compton. Pickoff move, Becerra dives back in safely. Dirtying up the pinstripe pants for the Kettleer third baseman. Compton looking to keep this at-bat alive as Lehman takes a look back at Becerra. Now comes set with the glove just above the belt. Looks in, deals the 0-2 pitch. This one spiked in the dirt. Gerald keeps it in front of him as the ball deflects down the third base line, but Becerra stays put over at first. It's another nice block from Jacob Gerald behind the dish. Saw a couple of pitches in the dirt in the first inning that he kept in front. Large backstop here at Spillane Field. Lehman looks back at Becerra. Now comes setting the 1-2 pitch to Compton. Once again, low in the dirt as Compton lays off as the count goes from 0-2 to 2-2. Compton was on a tear in the month of July. In 21 games, he hit .329 with 3 home runs and 18 RBIs. As the 2-2 pitch, that one shot right back up the middle. That'll dunk down into center field. Becerra takes a turn around second. He will head for third as Brandon Compton improves for 2 for 2 today as Becerra is just 90 feet away from being the 4th run of the day for the Kettleers.
Well, this is just not what we've seen the last couple of days, Alex. This offense firing from 1 through 9. You only really saw one ball that wasn't hit hard, and it was from Devin Taylor, who notched a couple of foul balls as well as Tyler Cerny, who did that to end the first inning. So now they seemingly have a beat on Cole Lehman. Let's see how long he's able to stay in this game.
Cotuit had just 9 hits over the last 2 games while striking out 18 times. So far today, they have 8 hits. As Nathan Hall digging in for the second time. The righty is 1 for 1. The first pitch taken well outside as Gerald has to make a sprawling stop to keep that ball in front. As both runners staying put on the corners. Compton's batting average now up to .314 after his 2 singles. Lehman deals the 1-0 to Hall. This one shot in the left center field alleyway. Giving a long run, and what a diving grab for center fielder William Parker. As tagging up from third is Timo Becerra, as Nathan Hall shot that in the alleyway. Thought it was destined for extra bases, but William Parker doing his best Superman impression there, hauling in that ball for a loud out number 1.
Yeah, you said it best, Alex. I mean, goes full extension into the alleyway on the backhand, too, for William Parker, and robbing Nathan Hall of what could have been his 3rd extra base hit of the summer, but able to score 1 run, though, as he brings home Timo Becerra from third, and Cotuit gets that extra run of insurance, and they lead it 4-0.
So it's RBI number 7 for Nathan Hall. Could have been a lot more, but an excellent grab by William Parker in center field. As the opening pitch to Tanner Thatch, the lefty lays off low for ball 1. Thatch 1 for 1 today. That broke an 0 for 8 stretch over his last 2 games. Both him and Jaron Advincula recording base hits, and those 2 in the last 2 games, a combined 0 for 16 with 4 strikeouts as Thatch drills this hard down the first base line and just foul. Thatch had a beat on that ball, but just hooks it foul ever so slightly.
Yeah, the entire Kettleers dugout erupted. They thought that was a fair ball. Peyton Kessling can't believe it. His hat's off of his head right now and stroking his fingers through the little hair that he has, but still a good reaction after that foul ball. It scorched off the bat of Tanner Thatch, but he's got another chance at 1-1.
Those are the swings that you like to see from Tanner Thatch, who has crushed right-handed pitching this year. 26 hits and 76 at-bats as he fouls away the 1-1 pitch. Back behind our right shoulders as he falls behind on the count 1-2. And it's crazy to see the difference that and the success that Tanner Thatch has against right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching. Came into today hitting .333 against righties, just .178 against southpaws. Working against the righty Lehman here, who deals the 1-2 pitch. One nearly drills Thatch as he has to back out of the way. evening the count up at 2-2.
Maybe it's something about this ballpark. Tanner Thatch was 0 for his first 9 to start off the summer and came to Spillane Field to get that first base hit. And again, you just mentioned the stretch that he just went on and stopping that stretch with the single in the first.
Compton leads off first. The 2-2 pitch runs inside and clicks off the bat of Tanner Thatch. He tried to back out of the way and just deflects right off the bat.
It looked like it could have hit the knob of the bat there for Tanner Thatch and barely grazes it for the second strike.
The count evened up at 2-2. 43 pitches for Cole Lehman so far in an inning and a third. Pitch number 44, dribble, that'll get down into right field as Brandon Compton moves up to second. So Tanner Thatch stays perfect as he's now 2 for 2 with a pair of singles.
That's another ball that's pounded by Tanner Thatch. If he's able to get a little bit underneath that ball, it could end up over the right field fence, but slightly rolling over on it and putting it through the right side of that infield. And it's important to note that the grass here in the infield and in the outfield, it's pretty thick, more thick than most other Cape Cod League fields. And so those balls that go into shallow right field, shallow left field, they can really die, and that can allow runners to advance extra bases.
The thick grass, and of course playing on the gray dirt here at Spillane Field as Devin Taylor hits this one deep into right field. That'll kick off the base of the wall. Compton gets the wave around third. Following him is Tanner Thatch. He will stop at third. It's an RBI double for Devin Taylor as Cotuit is pouring it on. They now lead 4-0.
And there's the 10th hit so far today for the Kettleers. They had just 9 in the last 2.5 games going into this one. So, boy, what a way to explode the bats here at Spillane Field against a team that was also struggling. So the Kettleers having the edge on Wareham so far. And now Ryan Smythe is out of the Wareham dugout on the third base side. We are just above that dugout right now. But it's been quiet right now because the Kettleers bats have been hot.
And after the RBI double for Devin Taylor, Cole Lehman's day is done as the Kettleers have exploded so far here in the top of the second. As the hits keep on rolling in, they're now up to 10. As Lehman exits, we'll now step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Cotuit pouring it on here in the top of the second as they lead 5-0 after the RBI double, knocking out the starter Cole Lehman out of the ballgame as he goes just an inning and a third, allowing 10 hits, 5 runs, not walking a batter or striking out a batter, tossing 45 pitches, 29 for strikes. As Tony Pluta coming into the game, righty out of the University of Arizona, this being his 11th appearance of the summer. It's really ate up a lot of innings for this Wareham squad. 17 and 2/3 innings tossed, has a 2.04 ERA, allowing just 4 earned runs, striking out 11 over his 10 appearances.
Yeah, coming off of a productive year at Arizona as well, where he had a 3 ERA across nearly 30 innings and was in the back of the bullpen there, allowed 10 earned runs, struck out 21 batters in those 30 innings pitched.
He enters the game in a tough spot, just 1 out here in this top of the second. Tanner Thatch standing on third, Devin Taylor leading off second after his RBI double. A check swing by Charles Davallon. That'll boot down to center field. Thatch comes in to score. Moving up to third base is Devin Taylor. And everything is going right for the Kettleers as Charles Davallon just checking his swing and dunking that ball down right in the straightaway center field.
It just shows you that your luck can change in this game overnight. I mean, that one, maybe 40% swing from Charles Davallon, and it leaves the infield into center field and brings home another run. So they'll take it any way they can. And now Cotuit with a commanding 6-0 advantage.
Charles Davallon now 2 for 2 today with an RBI. That'll bring up Jaron Advincula with runners on the corners. Advincula tallied the first RBI in this game, had an RBI single just an inning ago. As Pluta, the righty, deals, Advincula fouls a pitch off just to over our right shoulders. These have been situations where Jaron Advincula has thrived as of late, hitting with runners in scoring position. Now up to 14 RBIs, batting over .330 with 14 hits and 41 at-bats. Taylor dances off third. Davallon leads off first. This one shot right down the left field line, but foul off the bat of Advincula. And another hard hit ball by the Kettleers, but Advincula pushes it just foul.
Slightly behind on it from Pluta. And Advincula down in the count 0-2, but we know the way he can fight and battle up at the plate. It's something that Mike Roberts has talked about time and time again, his ability to battle up there, and striking out twice last night for the first time this season.
Pickoff move. Davallon stays put on first. Stepping back on that bag. And the 2 strikeouts for Jaron Advincula last night on the first night of August, matching his total the entire month of June. Struck out just twice in 12 games in June. Only struck out 3 times in the month of July in 22 games as Advincula chops this one foul down the first base line. Will Thompson looked at that ball, let it roll by.
Would have been a long run for Will. But that's a big reason for it right there as to why he doesn't strike out that much. That pitch nearly at his ankles, probably would have finished by his back foot, and he's still able to get a piece of wood on it.
Advincula staying alive here. Runners on the corners. 0-2 is the count with 1 out in the inning. Cotuit leading 6-0. Advincula ropes this one. That'll get down into right field. Coming in to score is Devin Taylor. As the Kettleers continuing to dominate here at Spillane Field, they now lead 7-0.
Just a great piece of hitting from Jaron Advincula, who barrels that ball through the right side, and he's someone who gets away with a lot of little dunks on the infield, a lot of runs that he beats out up the first base line in close plays, but that one a single in any league, and it drives home the 7th run.
Jaron Advincula now 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Has his batting average back up to .387. Now here's Grant Jay, who had a 2 RBI single an inning ago. Placed that right into left field. His first swing, Jay goes around on a pitch that was low in the dirt and off speed by Tony Pluta. He's come out of the bullpen, thrown 6 pitches. All 6 pitches have been strikes. Pluta, the righty, peers in. Takes a look back at Advincula, who's not being held on by the first baseman, Eli Putnam, as Jay fouls that right to the on-deck circle where Tyler Cerny stops it with his foot. So Jay quickly falls behind on the count 0-2. These are situations that he's worked on a lot with head coach Mike Roberts, battling back in counts and looking to avoid the punch out here. Davallon dances off second. Advincula leads off first. Pluta takes a look back at Davallon. As the pitch clock reads 8, now comes home. Breaking ball that's spiked in the dirt. Jay lays off. Sherrill keeps it in front as both runners stay put. Grant Jay coming into the game, struggling, hitting with runners in scoring position, just 2 for 23. Now 3 for 24 with 9 RBIs after his 2 RBI single. Pluta, twirling the ball in his right hand, now puts it in the glove. As the glove set at his chest, deals the 1-2 pitch, taken low and outside as Jay evens the count up at 2-2. Pluta rocking the high socks. It's nice blue socks with the white pants. The red shirt Friday jerseys with the camo hats. Shaking off the sign from the catcher, Gerald. The pitch clock now reads 3 as Pluta comes set. That'll be a pitch clock violation there as Pluta didn't deliver as the pitch clock signaled 0.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's taken it down to the wire with the pitch clock, but that time he finally gets rung up, it looks like. Unless that was just time called by the home plate ump, still waiting on the notion from the scoreboard, but he'll dig back in.
Scoreboard says 2-2 on the count, but it does not matter as Grant Jay is down on strikes as he looks at a pitch on the outside corner as he's the second gone here in this second.
Now batting the shortstop, number 6.
Well, it was a good eye from Grant Jay on a couple of pitches before that in the at-bat. It was a breaking ball that dipped beneath the zone, and he was able to hold off on it. But that one there, a fastball that's dotted on the outer edge. Not much you can do with that pitch if you're Grant Jay, and just a beautiful location from Tony Pluta, who really needed that for the second out.
Pluta standing just 5'8", 190 pounds. The rising junior out of Arizona starts out Tyler Cerny with a first pitch that misses beneath his knees. Cerny flew out to Reese Chapman to end the eventful top of the first, where Cotuit scored 3 runs. They followed that up with 4 here in the second. Cerny looking for more here. Fouls a pitch well over the press box back into the parking lot. Count evened up at 1-1 against Tyler Cerny, whose batting average has dipped below 200, sitting at 192. The only man in this order that has yet to record a base hit is a high chopper, goes just over our right. Kicks off the school behind us, off the brick building, as a couple of kids chase after that foul ball.
Just to the right of our shark cage above the Wareham dugout. Almost had to go make a play on that. Would have had to scale the little ladder that we have to climb up, though.
I think you got that ball, Joe. Pluta, 1-2 in the count, takes a look back at Davalon. Still continuing to look back at him. Now comes home the 1-2 pitch. Taken beneath the knees, the appeal down to first. Cerny did not go, as the count evened up at 2-2. Cerny 0 for his last 6 in the last 3 games. It's been a streaky hitter so far this season. Had a stretch in late June where he was 7 for 17. The 3 extra base hits, a pickoff move. Davalon's back in standing. Pluta spinning around, firing to second base as Johan Desero keeping Davalon close. Cotuit with 4 runs here in the second on 5 hits. Still looking for more as they have 2 runners on. The 2-2 to Cerny. This one chopped hard down to the shortstop, Antonio Jimenez, who bobbles that ball. It deflects off of his hands and stays right on the gray dirt in the infield. So Tyler Cerny reaches, and the Kettleers have once again loaded the bases.
Yeah, difficult play to make for Antonio Jimenez, who was moving to his left, had to try to backhand that ball, and it looked like he was going to go to third with the play as Davalon was running there, but it looked like he wouldn't have had enough time to make that play. It would have been really tough to relay that to first as well, so it'll go down as an infield single for Cerny.
Not even through 2 innings here at Spillane Field. The Kettleers have 7 runs on 13 hits, and every single Kettleer now has recorded a base knock. As Timo Becerra digs in for his second at-bat this inning, he started the inning off with a single. Later came around to score. He's up in the count 1-0 after Pluta's first pitch missed low and outside to the righty. Righty-righty matchup here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The 1-0, a high chopper down the third base line, going right into the Wareham dugout. Becerra's single earlier in the inning, breaking him out of a 1 for 13 slump where he struck out 5 times. It's the 1-1 pitch, Misses high and away. Wareham in their dugout thought that could have been strike two, but Passero lays off. The Stanford product has struggled with runners in scoring position this year, just 1 for 21. Comes up in a big spot with the bases loaded as the 2-1 fastball taken high and away as Becerra now in the driver's seat up 3-1.
That's a big pitch for Pluta right here. It was strong with the strike throwing when he started out. 8 of his first 10 pitches found the zone, but now back to 12 for 19.
Pluta not trying to lose Becerra as he deals the 3-1. Looked at for strike two, just around the knees of Timo. So the count is full with 2 outs in the inning. Charles Davalon leads off third, Jaron Advincula off second, Tyler Cerny off first. Cotuit leading 7-0 here in the top of the second. Tony Pluta has a glove set at his chest, leg kick, the payoff pitch. Becerra lines this one into right field. Now coming on is Reese Chapman, who makes the grab for the third and final out of the inning, but not before Cotuit continues to pour it on against the Wareham Gatemen. They score 3 in the first, follow that up with 4 here in the top of the second as we head to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers in full control, leading 7-0.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Luis Misla returns to the mound with 7 runs of cushion after working a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, getting a punch out of Johan Desero, a fly out of Colby Turner, and a line out of Murph Gray as he faces the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Jacob Gerald, Reese Chapman, and Eli Putnam. As Gerald digging in for his first stop at the righty catcher, dealing against the lefty Luis Misla. Misla, his first pitch, dotted on the outside corner, but laid off for ball 1. Gerald hitting .211 so far this season. Looking to jumpstart the Wareham Gatemen, who have fallen on hard times as of late. They've lost their last 5 games, in danger of losing 6 in a row. Not the spot that they want to be in, trailing 7-0 just in the bottom of the second. Cotuit with 7 runs on 13 hits, as Gerald grounds this one hard down the third base line, but foul. So 2-1 is the count on the catcher out of Clemson. This being his 23rd game, has struggled over his last 6 contests, however. Just 2 for 15 with 2 RBIs. As he dribbles this one slowly back to the mound, Misla fields his throw in plenty of time to nab Gerald for the first out.
Now calm, cool, and collected. Luis Misla fields that ball, spins, and throws to first. And as a lefty, he was already kind of falling off towards that part of the mound. So an easy play for him. And Timo Becerra, who was playing back, could stay back there. And an easy first out, 4 up, 4 down to start off Luis Misla's day.
Here's the lefty Reese Chapman. So a lefty-lefty matchup with 1 out in the second. Misla starts him out with a first pitch that's laid off inside for ball 1. Chapman playing in his 20th game as a Gateman. hitting 225, 16 for 71. As he clubs this one deep to center field, going back is Charles Davalon, but he will settle underneath this, making the running grab for out number 2 as it's 5 up, 5 down so far to start Luis Misla's night.
Yeah, that was the hardest hit ball by a Wareham Gateman so far tonight, and it was to deep left center field, and that's really what Luis Misla has done when he's been successful out on the mound this year. It's pitching to that contact, letting his fielders do the work, and so far he's done that today, as you mentioned, 5 up, 5 down.
Now it's the first baseman, Eli Putnam. Misla starts him out with a first pitch beneath the knees for ball 1. Misla this year at SUNY Cortland had an 8-2 record, making 14 starts, 2.34 ERA as he falls behind Putnam here as the 1-0 pitch spiked in the dirt. Keeping it in front is Grant J. Misla tossing 77 innings, striking out 114 batters and only walking 27. The lefty, with his leg kick, deals the 2-0. Big cut on and miss by Putnam. As the count goes to 2-1. Putnam hitting 276 this season, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. Really seen the power off of Putnam's bat with 7 doubles. Takes another healthy cut out of the 2-1 pitch, but Misla gets the fastball in on him as the count evened up at 2-2. So lefty peers in. However, as the glove set at his belt, kicks and deals the 2-2. Got him looking. What a start for Luis Misla. 6 up, 6 down with 2 strikeouts as he works another 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the second as we're on cruise control for Cotuit through 2 as they now lead 7-0 through the first 2 innings at Spillane Field. And before we'll take a quick break, now we'll bring on the third member of our team, Adele Huffman.
Thank you, Alex. Yes. Yesterday marking our longest losing streak this season, but that is only 3 games, you guys. This was against Brewster, Orleans, and Hyannis. But we know the Kettleers have what it takes to have a high-scoring game, and we're seeing that out here tonight. It's been obvious this season that it's important for the Kettleers to get up quickly in a game in order to stay steady throughout the entirety of it. And only 4 points separating first from third place in the West Division this summer, with Cotuit falling in the middle, with Hyannis at 45 points, Cotuit with 43, and Wareham at 41. Joe, Alex, what do you think the biggest part about getting out of this losing streak can be for Cotuit?
Well, I think we saw it in the first 2 innings right here. I mean, 18 at bats so far already. I think it's 13. It is 13 hits on the board, 7 runs. So no better way to work your way out of a slump than to explode offensively like this with 7 runs in the first few innings. But as we've seen the last week or so and throughout this season, it's a 9-inning game. So you're going to have to figure it out through all 9 innings. Hopefully they built themselves a good enough cushion, though.
That's something that Mike Roberts has talked a lot about, getting consistency 1 through 9. Well, you've seen that tonight. Of course, 13 hits, every player for Cotuit with a base hit, and 4 guys with multi-hits already through 2 innings, and just the offensive onslaught that you've been waiting to see. And we really haven't seen this Kettleer offense struggle, and of course, going through the 20 scoreless inning stretch, but definitely a good response.
Yes, and doing a good job of getting ahead early in this game. And Joe, Alex, what did the baseball gloves say to the ball?
I don't know.
Me either.
Catch you later in the 4th inning, you guys.
I like that. I haven't heard that before.
That's awesome.
Excellent stuff from Adele Huffman.
Catch you later, Adele.
Taking a look at some scores around the league. Bourne and Hyannis, a game that both of these 2 squads watching very closely. The Braves continuing to play good baseball down the stretch. They're now leading 5-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. YD, they have an 8-3 lead over Chatham in the bottom of the 8th as Brandon Compton set to lead things off here in the top of the 3rd. Takes a first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Compton already 2 for 2, has scored twice with a pair of singles. His batting average now up to .314, working against the righty Tony Pluta. 1-0 pitch waved on and missed by Compton. That evens the count up at 1-1. And even during the Kettleers' struggles offensively, it was not to the fault of Brandon Compton, a guy who consistently put together good at-bats, always found himself on base as he lays off the 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2. Pluta attacking Compton on the outside corner on the first 3 pitches, as he came on in relief of Cole Lehman, who allowed 10 hits in an inning and a third, giving up 5 runs as the 2-1 fastball missing on the inside corner against the lefty Compton. So he's in the driver's seat, up 3-1. Pluta now working out of the windup. Twirling the ball in his right hand, now puts it in the glove as he peers over, deals the 3-1 to Compton. Big swing and a miss there as the count goes full to lead things off here in the third. Compton sits second in the league with 28 RBIs this season. Ryder Helfrich of Brewster has 34. The 3-2 pitch, Compton hits this one down the right field line, running a long way as Reese Chapman, as he will make the running grab, crashing into the fence, as Reese Chapman really running a long way for that baseball, losing his hat in the process, but crashing up into the fence, making a great grab for the first out.
Yeah, stellar grab, had to run a long way into just in front of that Kettleers bullpen that's down the right field line. Some vines hanging over the fence there too, and so he had to battle a lot of weeds in the way of that fly ball, as well as skies are starting to darken over Spillane Field right now. Some clouds moving in, and the lights are still not on as we move closer to 7 p.m. local time.
The first time that Wareham has gotten the leadoff man out as Compton flies out to Reese Chapman in right field. That'll bring up Nathan Hall as Pluta was working into the windup, now goes into the stretch. His first pitch looked at for strike 1. Hall 1 for 1 today. Singled in his first at-bat, laced the ball in the left center field alleyway, but William Parker, the center fielder, turned into Superman, going full extension, robbing Nathan Hall of what could have been extra bases. As the 0-1 pitch, the appeal down to first, Hall does go around to the dismay of the Kettleer dugout. So 2 quick strikes from the righty Pluta against the righty Hall. Pluta nods his head, gets the sign from the catcher, Gerald. Out comes Set with the glove at his chest. Leg kick, and he fires the 0-2 pitch. Hall crushes this one deep to left field. Going back is Colby Turner at the wall, leaping up. That'll kick off the wall as Nathan Hall motors his way around second. He's not stopping the relay throw. A head-first dive, and Nathan Hall is in there with a 1-out triple. The power on display for Nathan Hall as he records his first triple and just the 3rd extra base hit for Hall this season.
The first pitch, number 30.
Just the 2nd triple all season for the Kettleers, and Nathan Hall punishing that ball to left center field, and that one nearly leaving the yard for a home run for him, but he stops just 90 feet away, and the Kettleers with a chance to continue to extend their lead. But geez, what a great day at the plate already for Nathan Hall.
Hall now 2 for 2 with a single, a sac fly, and a triple through 3 innings. That'll bring up Tanner Thatch, the first offering, well outside, and a nice sliding stop by Gerald going into the right-handed batter's box, keeping that ball in front as Pluta falls behind Thatch 1-0. Another productive day at the dish for the Kettleer first baseman. He's 2 for 2. Scored a run last inning. Takes a healthy cut out of the 1-0 changeup from Pluta.
And I know you brought it up, but looking back at that sacrifice fly for Nathan Hall, that one also could have gone for extra bases very easily. So he could easily be sitting in this game right now, 3 for 3 with a single, double, and a triple.
Took an excellent play by William Parker in center field as Thatch swinging away at the 1-1 pitch, fouling it back behind our right shoulders over the school behind us.
I mean, we've talked about in the last couple of days the lack of production from the middle of the lineup, from the bottom of the lineup, but today they're firing from 1 through 9, as you talked about.
14 hits so far through 2 1/3 innings as Thatch, a hard line drive right back into the fence behind home plate. We haven't seen an offensive performance like this from the Kettleers this season. Every Ket in the lineup with a base hit. Now 5 players with multi-hits in this game. Brandon Compton, Nathan Hall, Tanner Thatch, Charles Davalon, Jaron Advincula. Everyone crushing the baseball so far as the 1-2 pitch. Bounce in the dirt, kept in front by Gerald as that ball hits off of his equipment. Goes right in front of home plate as he picks it up. Staying put on third base is Hall. So after a pair of foul balls, the count evened up at 2-2. 5 pitches in the at-bat from the righty Pluta against the lefty Thatch. The 2-2 on the way on the inside corner. Got him looking. Tanner Thatch down on strikes as he disagreed with the call as Tony Pluta dotted a fastball right on the inside corner.
Yeah, Thatch had to bend out of the way from that up and inside fastball, but gets rung up by the home plate umpire Joshua Garcia, and Tanner Thatch goes down for the first time today. Still 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, though.
That's just the second strikeout for the Kettleers so far today. Grant Jay with the first one just an inning ago. Now here is Devin Taylor. Chopper, ground ball right to Will Thompson at first base, and he makes the play. Big eruption from the Kettleers dugout on the first base line. Ball right into the breadbasket of Will Thompson.
He should keep that.
The second play that Thompson has made this year, coaching first base. It's the 0-1 to the lefty Taylor. Pluta deals. Another hard hit ground ball right to the second baseman, but that takes a high hop over Johan Desero, motoring his way up to second base as Taylor. The relay throw not in time as Devin Taylor advances up to second base after the fielding miscue by Johan Desero as Nathan Hall comes in to score and the Kettleers bringing the score up to 8-0.
Yeah, it's been the story of the day so far for Wareham. That one taking a couple of hops and then catapulting over the right shoulder of Johan Desero, who tried to keep it in front, and now he'll exchange a few words with Devin Taylor. But Taylor, you got to love that hustle. Charging around first base, knows that he can maybe make it into 2, and he does so perfectly, sliding in there safely.
That's the hustle plays that you like to see, especially in a 7-0 game. Devin Taylor going all out. Now standing in scoring position for Charles Davalon, who's 2 for 2 today. Swing at the first pitch is Davalon, lofting it, twisting foul ball down the right field line.
Davalon all over that first pitch, hooked it just to the right of that foul pole that's just beyond the first base line, but if he straightens that out, that could go deep.
They're going to score that last play a double for Devin Taylor, so he's now 2 for 3 today with a pair of doubles. Now 4 doubles on the season out of the slugger from Indiana. Pickoff move goes in and out of the glove of Antonio Jimenez as Pluta fired that back as Taylor goes back in standing. So Pluta steps back on the rubber, takes a look home at Davalon. Now glances back at Taylor, comes home with the 0-1 pitch. Looked at for strike 2. Pluta going back to the fastball here, and he's just 1 strike away from getting out of this top of the third where Cotuit has put up another run. They now lead 8-0 on 15 hits. Righty comes set with a glove at his chest. Deals the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball that Davalon thought about swinging, but wisely lays off. Pitch was well beneath the knees of the Kettleer center fielder. Cotuit with 2 extra base hits this inning. Nathan Hall tripled with 1 out, and Devin Taylor standing on second with his second double today as Davalon fights a pitch down the third base line, doing everything he can just to stay alive. That's a real Mike Roberts type of swing. Always battling deep in the counts, doing exactly what you can to stay alive and see another pitch. The righty comes set and deals the 1-2 to Davalon. On the inside corner, this time Pluta doesn't get the call. Similar spot to the pitch that Tanner Thatch was rung up on. Maybe just a little bit too far inside, but Davalon evens the count up at 2-2. Clouds continuing to darken just a bit. It's 7:03 local time in Wareham. Cotuit in full control up 8-0 as Pluta steps off the rubber. Joe, another great day for baseball.
Yeah, it is. Great weather again. I mean, we deserved it after last week having all those rainouts.
The 2-2 to Davalon. Big swing and a miss as he goes down on strikes. The second strikeout for Tony Pluta in the inning, but not before the Kettleers tack on another run after an RBI double from Devin Taylor. As we're through 2.5 here from Spillane Field as the Kettleers leading the Gatemen 8-0. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Antonio Jimenez from the University of San
Luis Misa stepping back out on the rubber here at Spillane Field as Cotuit leading Wareham 8-0 through 2.5. I'm Al Trocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. Jimmy Shantulis on the controls today. As digging in for his first at-bat is the shortstop Antonio Jimenez, who looks at a first pitch right at his ankles for ball 1. An excellent start to the day for Luis Misla out on the mound, 6 up, 6 down with a pair of strikeouts. Falls behind the shortstop Jimenez here. Once again, missing with an off-speed pitch beneath the ankles of Jimenez. The shortstop playing in his 37th game this summer, 26 for 119. That's good for a 218 average as the 2-0 pitch fouled off right near the on-deck circle as Aris Rivera, who's set to hit next, picks up that ground ball. Biesla now comes set, deals the 2-1. Fastball bouncing off the dirt as he falls behind Jimenez, 3-1 in the count. This is not something that we've seen so far from Luis Misla today. In the first 6 hitters, getting ahead of them with first pitch strikes.
Yeah, I know. We haven't seen him fall behind in the count too much so far today, and that's a big reason as to why he's retired every man he's faced.
The 3-1 pitch blasted off the bat of Antonio Jimenez deep down the left field line and well fouled, but if Jimenez straightens that ball out, that was crushed. Would have been an 8-1 ball game, and Jimenez knows it, takes a big deep breath, and now steps back into the right-hand batter's box.
Yeah, you got all of that one. Misla clearly trying to get back over the top with a pitch, trying to find something that hits the zone, and luckily Jimenez hooks it foul.
There's a high fastball right at the top of the zone to Jimenez, who's crushed 5 home runs this year. As he works a walk, flipping the bat as Jimenez was walking out of the batter's box right as that pitch was being tossed. So he works a leadoff walk, the first base runner for the Gatemen here.
From the University.
It's just a good at-bat from Antonio Jimenez. Was in it from the start, but also working it all the way full. Took a big hack at a pitch that he liked, but got one that he couldn't do much with in the final pitch, and he accepts his walk. And that's really just what they needed to get the offense going, a base runner.
So the first base runner against the lefty Luis Misla, who fires back a first pitch strike against the designated hitter Aris Rivera. He's playing in his 4th game this summer, 2 for 7 with 2 RBIs. His work to walk, struck out 3 times as Jimenez leading off first. Misla, the lefty, comes home with the 0-1 pitch. That gets past Jay. Goes back to the backstop. Jimenez moving up to second on the wild pitch from Misla. So for the first time today, the Gatemen have a runner in scoring position.
They only had 3 hits last night, only got 4 base runners on base. It's really more of the same today for Wareham. Pitching-wise, they've been behind the 8 ball as well, but get their first man in scoring position right here. That one there. We've seen Grant J really improve behind the plate, keeping a lot of balls in front, but that one spiked way too far in front of home plate for him to keep in front.
It's been a bunch of low-scoring affairs for the Gatemen as of late. This one shot fouled just down the right field line. Aris Rivera had a beat on that ball, but he falls behind on the count 1-2. Taking a look at this losing streak for the Gatemen, their first loss against YD, they fell 3-2 in 7 innings and 6-3 the next night against Harwich. 15-8 where the offense came alive, but they didn't get the pitching. And then an 8-3 loss against Borden, a 4-0 loss as Rivera goes down on strikes as Misla picks up his 3rd strikeout today, the 2nd swinging K, as Rivera is set down for the first out.
Great at bat for Luis Misla right there. We saw him go back to the pitch that he tried to get Antonio Jimenez on with a 3-2 count to start off for Reese Rivera, and that really set up the rest of his pitches really nicely in that at bat. And Reese Rivera was fighting from behind the whole time, and he picks up another K.
Back-to-back righties for the Gatemen here as William Parker digs in. Misla misses a zone on his first pitch fastball. The 1-0 pitch looked at for strike 1. Misla going back to the fastball here against Parker, who's playing in his 2nd game this summer, went 0 for 2 in the first one with a pair of strikeouts. This pitch spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Grant J, and a really nice block there as he hopped out of the crouch and ate that ball up.
Yeah, that was a really nice job as that one bounced really far in front of home plate, and he's still able to keep it in front, having to jump up a little bit and take it into his midsection, but super key with that runner on second.
Jimenez leads off second, a half-hearted swing from Parker. As he waved through the 2-1 pitch from Misla to even the count up at 2-2. Parker making an excellent grab in center field. Back in the 2nd inning, now looking to pick up his first hit on the summer. The 2-2 pitch, Misla misses high, so Parker has worked the count full with 1 gone here in the 3rd. The Gatemen still looking for their first base hit today. Cotuit with 15 as the 3-2 pitch taken low and outside to the righty. So it's the 2nd free pass issued by Misla in the inning as Wareham has runners on first and second.
The second baseman, number 13.
Well, we'll see how long they let Luis Misla go in this ball game as he walks 2 in this 4th frame. Looks like there could be somebody warming up out in the Kettleers bullpen. Of course, it is a screened-in fence out there in right field, all green screen with the advertisements in front of it, and the entire Kettleers bullpen on a bench just to the right of the foul pole.
Here is Johan Desero, who swings at the first pitch from Misla, low and outside. Desero struck out swing to begin the night for Misla, as it's a lefty-lefty matchup here, with Jimenez leading off second, Parker off first. This next offering gets back all the way to the backstop behind home plate. Grant J races to pick it up, but not before Jimenez and Parker move into scoring position. As Jimenez stands 90 feet away, Parker stands on second. So that eliminates the opportunity for a double play ball.
Yeah, it's just not the Luis Misla we saw in the first 2 frames as he works into his 3rd inning of work here, but already with those 2 walks, he's not doing himself any favors by allowing them to advance up to extra bases. So with this 1-1 count, you want to just know that you have an 8-run cushion.
The 1-1 fastball nearly drills the lefty Desero as he spins out of the way. Count goes to 2-1. And now Grant J will walk out to the mound and talk things over with his pitcher, who, like you said, Joe, really great first 2 innings, but struggling with command here in the 3rd.
He is, and it just hasn't really been what we saw from him in the first couple innings. I know you brought it up at the start of this 3rd, but he hasn't really been starting off these batters, I should say, with strikes, has been falling behind in the count, and is trying to just throw that perfect pitch to get back into it. And that really isn't a strategy, as we've seen from Mike Roberts talking with Adele after some post-game interviews, where he's saying how a lot of pitchers are trying to pinpoint the ball, and that's just not something you can do when you got runners on base and a great infield behind you that can likely field a lot of these balls. But of course, he is creeping up in the pitch count too.
That was my next question. How much of a factor is the pitch count continuing to climb for Miesla? His season high of pitches, 26 so far this year. That came, or before tonight, that came back on July 15th in a game against YD where he went an inning, gave up a home run to Ethan Petrie as Desero swings at the 2-1 pitch, lost it into right field. Hall makes the play. Tagging from third is Jimenez. The throw gets behind the cutoff man. Thatch staying put at second is William Parker, but the Gatemen tally their first run on the sacrifice fly by Johan Desero.
Yeah, nice job by him just to do a job as he hits it hard, but it fans up in the wind up there for Nathan Hall, and easily scoring from third is Antonio Jimenez. So they chip away at that Cotuit lead. It's still 8-1, and I think that's really what Luis Miesla had to do there, is pitch to contact, because you already got this 8-run lead that if you give up one, you give up two, you're still okay, and there's no reason to attack these batters still.
Now here is Colby Turner. First pitch from Miesla in there for strike one, just around the knees of the right-handed hitter. Turner getting the start in left field today. 0-for-1 with a fly out to Nathan Hall in right field, as the 0-1 pitch goes right off the thigh of Colby Turner. Takes it like a champ and will walk down to first base after the hit by pitch.
Yeah, he did. He just watched that sail in and hit him on the left leg. It looked like a breaking ball from Miesla. But again, another free base runner for the Gatemen. And he's just focusing on this last out. And I think, to correct something from before, he should be attacking these batters, should not be worried about giving up too many base knocks. And now the toughest hitter in the lineup stands in front of him.
All three base runners for the Gatemen. Two have come on a walk, one by a hit by pitch. Still looking for their first hit as Murph Gray, he's up in the count 1-0 after Miesla's first offering misses high and away to the right-hand hitting third baseman. It was 0-for-1 with a hard line out to Tanner Thatch at first base back in the first inning. As the 1-0 pitch in the dirt, Jay gloves it as Miesla falling behind Gray. 2-0, and not the hitter that you want to fall behind on. Gray coming into today hitting .323 with 5 home runs, 26 RBIs, and 8 doubles. Grounds this one hard back up the middle. Cerny gloves it. His spinning throw goes away and was trying to get the out at second base, but just threw it into no man's land. Luis Miesla picks up that ball, so Murph Gray reaches on a hard hit ball right at the middle as the Gatemen now have the bases loaded.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Tyler Cerny, who took a couple of hard strides to his left and fielded that ball, had to spin and throw to second, but there really was no play there as Colby Turner was already at the bag, so he just flings it into Jaron Advincula just to keep that runner 90 feet away at third. So the bottom line is he's able to keep it on the infield, not allowing that runner from second to come around and score.
So Murph Gray picks up the first hit of the day for Wareham. It's a 2-out single with the bases loaded. Here's the catcher, Jacob Gerald. Miesla fires high and away for ball one. Gerald grounded out to Miesla just an inning ago. Near the third base line, Miesla fielded it off the mound and made a strong throw back as the 1-0 pitch goes off the glove of Jay, but they're going to rule it a hit by pitch. So it's another RBI for Wareham as it's the second hit batter for Luis Miesla here in the third. As Wareham continuing to cut into the deficit, they now trail by 6.
That looked like a front door breaking ball from Miesla that just falls too far low and inside and catches the back foot there of Jacob Gerald, the righty. He takes a hit by pitch. It's another base runner in this inning for Wareham, and now Mike Roberts will bring the entire infield in onto the mound. We'll see if this is the day for Luis Miesla as Grant Jay continues to encourage him right there, but Miesla really frustrated with the way that this third inning has gone.
Miesla went 6 up, 6 down in the first 2 innings. Issued a walk to Antonio Jimenez to lead things off in the 7th. Got a strikeout of Aris Rivera. And a walk, a sac fly by Johan Desero, then a hit by pitch, a single to Murph Gray, then another hit by pitch of Jacob Gerald. So the bases remain loaded as Colby Turner leads off third Murph Gray on second. Jacob Jarrell off first. It's a long visit out to the mound. Mike Roberts continuing to talk things over. The home plate umpire, Joshua Garcia, all the way out to the mound.
Yeah, and he's letting them have this conversation, which it's mostly just Mike Roberts straight to Luis Misla. Now it's nice to see from a couple other guys on this infield give him some words of encouragement. It was mainly Grant Jay who was continuing to talk with Misla as Mike Roberts was walking out there, and you could just tell he was trying to keep his nerves down, trying to calm him down, and knowing that he pitched very well through the first 2 innings and was able to cut down all these guys to the first rotation around. So for him to focus up and try to get this final batter is going to be super important, and it could be the last inning for him. And if he's able to get a quick out here, maybe we'll see him out there in the fourth.
So it's a lefty-lefty matchup against Reese Chapman, who takes a healthy cut out of the first pitch from Luis Misla. Waves through a pitch on the low and outside corner against the lefty who flew out to Charles Davalon back in the second inning. As the 0-1 pitch, this is high and away. The count evened up at 1-1. Chapman hitting .222, coming up in a big spot with the bases loaded and his team trailing 8-2. The 1-1 pitch. This one crushed to deep center field. Going back is Davalon, racing all the way back, settles underneath it and makes the running grab. As he crashes into the wall in deep center field, Reese Chapman gave that ball a ride, but Charles Davalon got on his high horse and made the running grab for the third and final out of the inning, but not before Wareham strikes as they score 2 runs here in the bottom of the third and make it an 8-2 ball game. As we're through 3 here from Spillane Field, Cotuit leading Wareham 8-2. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Wareham going to the bullpen to start things in the top of the fourth, going with the righty Matt Maloney, who comes in relief of Tony Pluta, who goes an inning and 2/3, allows 5 hits, gives up 1 run, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 3, while tossing 44 pitches, 30 for strikes. As Maloney comes on, faces the Kettleers for a second time this season, this being his 8th appearance.
And Matt Maloney getting his second appearance against the Kettleers so far this summer, and through 7 2/3 innings continues to work as a reliever out of the back of this bullpen for the Gatemen. Has allowed 6 earned runs, 10 hits, a couple of home runs against, a hit batsman, 3 walks, and that's to go along with 11 strikeouts. So that's something that sticks out and something that they're going to need if they want to continue to climb back into this ball game. They got 2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning in response to Cotuit's 1 in the bottom of that frame. But still, the Kettleers with a 6-run lead at 8-2.
And Maloney comes out of the bullpen, will face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Kettleer lineup: Jaron Advincula, Grant Jay, and Tyler Cerny. Advincula digging in for the 3rd time today is already 2 for 2. In response to going 0 for 8 in the last 2 games, is Maloney, his first pitch, taken for ball one as the lights have come on here at Spillane Field. The fifth and final meeting between these two squads. The third time that the Kettleers have made the trip to Wareham as Advincula swings at the 1-0 pitch. Fouls that off the glove of Gerald back to the backstop on a high fastball. Cotuit in the season series, leading it 3-1. Lost the first game 4-2 and then came back with a 4-2 victory at home. A 7-6 victory here as Advincula high chopper. That'll bounce into center field, so it's the third single of the day for Jaron Advincula as William Parker relays that ball in, but Advincula's on with another leadoff hit as he remains perfect at 3 for 3.
Yeah, he chops over that ball into straightaway center field, and it'll be his 18th multi-hit game of the summer now. So you mentioned it. He went on a slightly cold stretch where the batting average got brought back down to around 370, but now a 3 for 3 day to start it off has his average back up to 392.
Now here is Grant J. Maloney starts him out with a first pitch fastball that's laid off high and outside to the righty J, who's 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single back in the first inning. J made it a 3-0 ball game and then struck out looking in the second. Advincula dancing off first. Maloney, the righty, deals the 1-0 pitch looked at for strike one. These are critical at-bats for Grant J, who has struggled as of late, came into today 2 for his last 33, but tallied a big RBI single earlier in this game, looking to establish a little bit of confidence as he lays off another tough pitch at the top of the strike zone. So the count is 2-1 against the Kettleer catcher. Scoreboard was a little bit behind. Had the count at 2-0, then they added a strike against Grant J. Advincula takes a small lead off first as the 2-1 pitch, another high fastball laid off for ball 3, as Maloney struggling to find the strike zone here against J. Maloney in 7 2/3 innings pitched has allowed 10 hits, a pickoff move. Advincula back in standing as he scampers back to the first base bag. Maloney has the black glove set at his belt. Working out of the stretch, deals the 3-1 pitch to Jay. Crushes a foul ball over the press box. Back into the parking lot. A couple of kids race after that ball and nearly hitting off of a car. I think that did.
Oh, no. That's not good. An unpleasant surprise for that fan at the end of this game.
The payoff pitch to Jay. Laid off for ball 4. That pitch was dotted at the top of the strike zone, but a tough take by the Kettleer catcher as he works a walk, reaches for the second time today. And Cotuit has their first 2 hitters on to begin the top of the 4th.
Well, throughout this season, we've really seen the eye from Grant J really improve, and that being his 12th walk so far of the summer, but continues to improve upon that on-base percentage that was above 320 going into this ball game, and now a chance with runners on first and second for Tyler Cerny.
So here is Cerny. The first pitch, fastball, missing for ball 1. Was near the strike zone, but Cerny laid off as pitch was just a tad outside to the right-handed hitting shortstop. Maloney has tossed 10 pitches, 4 strikes, 6 balls. Looking to eat up valuable innings out of the Wareham bullpen. The third arm used already in just the 4th inning. As Cerny hits this one into left field. Coming on in is Colby Turner, who makes the play for the first out. Advincula and Jay stay put on second and first. So it's a long fly ball for Tyler Cerny as he falls back to 1 for 3 today.
Yeah, another frustrating at bat for him, who just barely gets underneath that baseball. Could have been driven to left center field, but it ends up being a unproductive first out of the inning. But for Timo Becerra, wasted no time to reinsert himself back into the lineup here today with a single back in the second inning. He's 1 for 2.
Both of Becerra's at-bats coming in that long second inning where the Kettleers scored 4 runs on 7 hits. as the first pitch from Maloney in the dirt as Becerra lays off. He's up in the count 1-0. That was a much-needed single for Timo Becerra. Was 1 for 13 in his last 4 games, and that was on the heels of a 6 for 13 stretch from July 18th to July 21st. It's the 1-0 pitch. Once again, can't find the strike zone. Maloney's been close to the zone with all of these pitches, but really nice eyes by the Kettleers hitters.
Yeah, they have, and he continues to struggle to find the box. 13 pitches, just 5 strikes.
Advincula takes a big lead off second. Desero holding him on. Jay off first. Maloney looks back, now comes home with a 2-0. Becerra attempts to swing the appeal down to first. He doesn't go around. Now Advincula is racing to the back. The throw from Maloney. Not in time as Advincula swipes third on the delayed steal attempt. Murph Gray thought he was out. There's going to be chaos on the field here as it was a bang-bang play. Advincula diving in head first, and here right now, shaking his head, he swiped third.
Yeah, we love the heads-up base running there from Jaron Advincula, who you could tell he was eyeing that up on the lackadaisical throws back from the catcher time and time again in this long at-bat, and I think that Matthew Maloney just stopped paying attention to him. Now Brian Smythe is heated up the third base line talking to J.C. Fernandez, who made that call. But Jaron Advincula was able to slide in safely, kind of a swim move as he reached in with the right hand. Murph Gray, a great reaction by him, who kind of had to slide into the bag himself and then place the tag as he was falling down back with his left hand. And so it seemed like J.C. Fernandez at least thought that the right hand of Advincula got in underneath the tag of Murph Gray. And now he's going to ask for some more help. J.C. Fernandez talking with Joshua Garcia, the crew chief. Now they'll call in Steve Calendar from first base. And we'll see what they rule here.
Jaron Advincula with a smile on his face after sliding in head first, shaking his head, saying he knew he got it. Mike Roberts just standing there talking to Advincula now as after the official review, they're going to say Advincula was safe, and once again, Ryan Smythe not pleased with the call.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a really frustrating week when you look at these past 5 games for Wareham, and calls like that can really drive a coach insane. It's just a small play that likely might not have an impact on the rest of this game, and Ryan Smythe has been tossed from this ball game.
So Ryan Smythe has been ejected from this game and really letting J.C. Fernandez hear it. Is Advincula laughing over there at third base, looking at the crowd, the Kettleers dugout, enjoying the ejection of Ryan Smythe. But it goes down as a stolen base for Advincula, his 4th on the season. And heads up base running there is some Mike Roberts' way of taking any base at any way possible.
Well, now wisely, Matt Maloney is going to try to throw a couple extra pitches here as he's thrown 14 pitches. Only 5 of them have found the zone for strikes. And it's really interesting that you send Jaron Advincula. I think it's obviously all him who's sending himself to third there, because he really has struggled to find the zone. It's a 3-0 count to Timo Becerra. There's a great chance that Advincula would end up on third base anyway if Becerra ends up walking here. So this all could be for nothing. But that just shows you the way that you can get into the head of other teams and draw some momentum back in your direction. And so it's a small gamesmanship play by Jaron Advincula there that will likely have an impact on the way that Wareham responds throughout the rest of this game.
Ryan Smythe with a couple of words to Mike Roberts as he walks by. Mike Roberts with a chuckle. So Jaron Advincula stands on third after his 4th stolen base of the year. Staying put on first is Grant Jay. So the Kettleers have runners on the corners with the count at 3-0 against Timo Becerra. As Maloney, working out of the stretch, deals the 3-0 pitch right down Main Street for strike 1. So a big spot for Timo Becerra, who's already 1 for 2 today, looking to pick up his first RBI and extend the Kettleer lead. They're already leading 8-2. As the 3-1 pitch dotted at the knees, Becerra lays off for ball 4. A little bit of confusion, thought it was going to be strike 2, but Becerra works the 5-pitch walk as he heads down to first, and now the bases are loaded, heading back to the top of the Cotuit order as Brandon Compton digs in.
Well, there you go. They're going to load the bases anyway for Brandon Compton, who has already found some success earlier on this year with the bases juiced. The only Kettleer on this team who has hit a grand slam.
Compton 4 for 6. with a home run and 11 RBI. Swings at the first pitch. Gerald throws it. Coming right near us as it deflects off the Wareham dugout down on the third base line as Burke Gray gave a leap for that ball. If only there wasn't a pole in the way, Joe, we could have almost had that ball.
Like Jimmy T's right there, too, our producer. He would have laid out for that. It hit off the dugout maybe about 5 feet to our right. That is the closest we've ever been. And, as someone who's been here for 3 years now, it's probably the closest that we've ever been, period.
I fully expect Jimmy T to make that play. If there's a ball that comes to us as Brandon Compton crushes this one to straightaway left field, Colby Turner goes into a slide and makes the play. Tagging from third is Jaron Advincula, and Turner had a beat on that ball. It looked like he just slipped at the end, but still makes the grab, but it goes down as a sacrifice fly for Brandon Compton as that brings home the 9th run of the day for Cotuit as they now lead 9-2.
Yeah, giving a ride into the opposite way. Nice to see him showcase some of that opposite field power, but he drives in another run on the day for the Kettleers. They make it a 9-2 ball game. And Nathan Hall will have another look on Matthew Maloney, and so far today, Nathan Hall has been tearing the cover off the ball. So far with that sacrifice fly, he's also 2 for 2.
Compton now up to a team lead, 29 RBIs. As the first pitch from the righty, Maloney, well outside to the righty, Nathan Hall is. Gerald has to make a sliding stop into the opposite batter's box to keep that ball in front. As Grant J stands on second, Timo Becerra leads off first. The 1-0 pitch bounces up to the dish. Gerald gloves it. As Maloney is falling behind Hall 2-0, and not the hitter that you want to fall behind, especially Hall, who's 2 for 2 today with a line drive single in the first inning, a bullet sacrifice fly that William Parker turned into Superman in center field, and then a triple that nearly was a home run for Nathan Hall just an inning ago. As he falls behind 3-0, and this could just be Maloney pitching around the dangerous Hall.
Yeah, it could be. Just seeing the charges that he's been able to put into balls so far today in his first 3 plate appearances, could just be pitching around him, but he's also struggled with throwing strikes tonight already. 8 strikes in 21 attempts.
Tanner Thatch in the on-deck circle is a 3-0 pitch. Looked at for strike 1. Maloney with the get-me-over fastball. 22 pitches for the righty. Just 9 strikes. Looking to get out of this inning, allowing just a run. The 3-1 pitch, looked at for strike 2. Hall thought about swinging, but laid off, but it's a strike anyway as the count goes from 3-0 to 3-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit already with a run on the sacrifice fly from Brandon Compton. Grant J leads off second, Timo Becerra off first. Maloney, the righty, has the black glove set at his belt. Takes a long look in, now kicks and deals the 3-2 pitch. Hall spoils it, just avoiding the light tower down the first base line. One that's in between the 2 grandstands above the visitors' dugout. Another packed crowd here at Spillane Field. Fans to our left, as we're situated down the third base line, just above the Wareham dugout. As the payoff pitch, the runners take off. Hall, another bullet line drive. Colby Turner making the running grab in time for the third and final out. Nathan Hall, another bullet. That just finds the leather of Colby Turner, but not before the Kettleers tack on another run after the sacrifice fly from Brandon Compton, as the Kettleers now lead 9-2 here from Spillane Field. Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season. For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? Zoom Info's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, Zoom Info's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today.
Luis Misla's day is done as he goes just 3 innings, giving up 1 hit, 2 runs, walked 2 batters, and struck out 3. As Mike Roberts goes to the bullpen for the first time today, bringing on the righty Bryson Parrish, who's coming in the ballgame for another appearance, this being his 4th so far this summer as a Kettleer. He has a 3-0 record, a 2.57 ERA in 7 innings, allowing 7 hits, just 2 earned runs, walking 2, and striking out 9. Parrish will come in the game and square off against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Eli Putnam, Antonio Jimenez, and Aris Rivera. That was that part of the lineup, the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Antonio Jimenez, Aris Rivera, and William Parker, that sparked the 2-run inning just an inning ago for the Gatemen. As it was 6 up, 6 down against the starter Luis Misla, Antonio Jimenez worked a walk. Aris Rivera struck out, but William Parker walked. Johan Desero hit a sac fly. Then it was a hit by pitch against Colby Turner. Murph Gray tallied a single. Jacob Gerald was hit by a pitch, and then Reese Chapman flew out to Charles Davalon. That ball was crushed in the left center field alleyway as Davalon had to run a long way to snag that ball down for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So here is Putnam, who's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking against Misla. 1 of 3 strikeouts against Misla as Parrish falls behind him on the high and away fastball to the righty. The 1-0 pitch waved on and missed to even up the count at 1-1. Parrish in his last appearance against Brewster, coming back on July 19th, went 3 1/3, giving up just 1 hit, no runs, walking 1 and striking out 3 as this one shot right back up the middle, dunking down in front of Charles Davalon in center field as that was a bullet off the bat of Eli Putnam, just the 2nd hit of the day for the Gatemen, but they have a leadoff man on for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Eli Putnam with his first hit today had his 5-game hitting streak snapped last night by going 0 for 3 against Chatham in their 4-0 loss. So he gets back into the swing of things and back-to-back innings where Wareham has led off with a base runner.
So now it's Antonio Jimenez, the shortstop, who walked in his first at bat, came around to score. However, Jimenez struggling in the last 10 as before the first offering to him a pickoff move as Putnam back in standing. Jimenez 7 for 34 over his last 10 games, striking out 9 times in those contests as Parrish starts him out with a first pitch breaking ball. That's gloved outside for ball 1. Parrish, a 4-year member at North Alabama. This past season is best. He made 12 appearances with a 3.27 ERA. Misses again on the 1-0 pitch. So Jimenez up in the count 2-0. This past year for Parrish, he made 12 appearances, a 3.27 ERA, had a 1-2 record, also picked up 2 saves and 33 innings of work. Struck out 31 hitters. As the 2-0 taken high and away on the fastball as Jimenez in the driver's seat up 3-0. Parrish made his Kettleer debut back on July 17th in the 6-5 victory against Orleans when he went an inning and a third, allowing 4 hits, but surrenders a free pass to Antonio Jimenez as Jimenez has worked 2 walks, and Wareham has runners on first and second to open the inning.
From UCF.
You know what you want.
So here's the designated hitter, Eris Rivera. The righty coming up in a big spot, already 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout in the third inning. The righty wearing number 40 with the high socks. Really nice look, the blue high socks. The white pants, the red shirt Friday jerseys.
Yeah, not the normal red shirt jerseys that Wareham usually wears. They have that cool Gatemen jersey that has the nice script across the front of it.
The 1-0. Looked at for strike one to the dismay of the Wareham dugout. The count evened up. That was a big strike for Bryson Parrish, who's come out of the bullpen throwing 9 pitches and just 3 strikes. The righty with the tan glove peers in, now comes set. The glove just above the belt, kicks and deals the 1-1, a big cut, and fouled straight back into the fence by Rivera. So he falls behind in the count 1-2.
It's a good pitch to get Rivera to swing on, but it seems like Parrish has been missing up in the zone to these swingers to start off this 4th inning, and just got to figure out a way to get on top of these pitches.
Rivera, 2 for 8. This is 4th game played with Wareham this summer. The 1-2 pitch, shot foul down the right field line. It's Rivera, another good swing on that ball after 2 consecutive hard-hit foul balls. Eli Putnam led off this inning with a single. He stands on second. Antonio Jimenez leads off first. Parrish now gets the sign. Comes set. Deals the 1-2 pitch. This one grounded hard to Cerny at short. Goes to Advincula for one. His throw. Goes into right field. Coming around in to score is Eli Putnam. Moving up to third is Antonio Jimenez. So Wareham scores another run. It's 9-3 after the fielding miscue by Tyler Cerny. He made the stop. His throw just pulled Advincula off the bag and went into right field.
Center fielder, number 5.
That was a ball that took a funky hop off the cutlet of the infield, and after a couple hops in the grass, it kind of shot down low like a bullet in between his legs. So it was a nice job just to grab that ball, and then with his weight on his right foot, kind of just let that one flutter down the right field line away from Advincula, and it brings home another run. So what we've seen in the last couple days, Alex, which is giving some base runners back, giving some runs back, those issues are starting to come up again here in this 4th inning.
5 errors over the last 2 games for Cotuit. This one hit hard. That'll get through in the left field as another run comes in to score. Antonio Jimenez comes in after the RBI single for William Parker. And Wareham has scored 2 runs to open up this bottom of the 4th, making it a 9-4 game.
Yeah, and these 2 put-away innings for the Kettleers, where they put up runs in the 3rd and 4th innings, Wareham has responded with 2 runs in each of them. And so it just shows you the resiliency of this team, who, despite have lost 5 games in a row and their manager just got kicked out of this game, they're still showing some fight.
And once again, it's the bottom of the order providing the fireworks for the Gatemen. As Johan Desiro, the leadoff man, waves through the first pitch from Bryson Parrish. He's down to the count 0-1. But Putnam with a single, Antonio Jimenez reaching on a walk. Eris Rivera reaching on a fielder's choice, along with the error by Tyler Cerny, and a single by Parker. As the 0-1 pitch, the appeal, Desiro did go around, so Parrish 2 quick strikes against the Gatemen second baseman. Righty-lefty matchup here in the 4th. 9-4 Cotuit leads.
Anyways, here we go.
Parrish peers in, has the tan glove, now kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch, another high twisting foul ball that goes over our heads, back over the school. Desiro today 0 for 1. Struck out in the first inning. Hit a sac fly in the 3rd. It was the 17th RBI of the season for Johan Desiro. The 0-2 pitch runs high and inside to the lefty as he backs out of the way. Bryson Parrish still looking for the first out in this inning, to letting the first 4 hitters reach to be in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Bryson Parrish pulls the strings on Johan Desiro, getting them to expand the zone, and a big first strikeout here in the 4th.
That's a huge K there for Bryson Parrish. Draws Johan Desero to swing at a pitch that's low and inside. Nice breaking ball there as it breaks off from the bottom of the zone and finishes lower towards the dirt. So that's just a key first out of this inning for Parrish and the Kets.
So here's Colby Turner, who's also 0 for 1 today. Was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Parrish falls behind him on the fastball, taken low and outside.
Got more, no one near you. Eat out, ground ball to second.
Turner entered the transfer portal at the start of the summer. Now it's his destination of heading to the University of Michigan. After playing this past season at San Diego State, where he played in 34 games, hitting .361. He's up in the count against Parrish 2-0. Had 30 RBIs, 7 doubles, but a big addition for the Wolverines lineup. The 2-0 fastball misses above the letters of Turner, as the righty-righty matchup favoring the hitter as he's up in the count 3-0. Parrish just looking for a strike and looking for an out to stop the bleeding. Wareham with 2 runs already in the inning as the 3-0 pitch, a fastball taken right down Main Street for strike 1.
I'm babe. On 12. Know what you want now.
Rivera dances off second. Parker off first. The 3-1 pitch to Turner. This one shot in the deep center field. Davalon racing all the way back, looking up. That's hits off the top of the fence. Both runners getting the wave around third. The relay throw from Cerny to the plate is not in time as they slide in safely. Moving up to third on the plate is Colby Turner. So heads up base running by the Wareham Gatemen. The ball was pitched to the deepest part of the park as Rivera comes in to score. Parker comes in to score, and with one swing of the bat, the Gatemen trail by just 3.
That ball was hammered off the bat of Colby Turner to the deepest part of the ballpark. It hits off the top of that fence in straightaway center field, and it's amazing how that one stayed in the yard, but he eventually winds up at third base as that one squeezed away from Grant J. And so just like that, Wareham is back in this ballgame with 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. They're now only down 3.
So now that brings up arguably the most dangerous hitter in the Wareham lineup, Murph Gray, who's already 1 for 2, excuse me. That play was ruled a double and throwing error by the shortstop, Tyler Cerny. As Gray checks his swing, goes off the bat, foul. Right toward Mike Roberts, standing in the Kettler on deck circle. So the count is 0-1 against Gray, who's getting the start at the hot corner as Cotuit bringing the infield in with the game at 9-6 here in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-1 pitch misses inside against the righty. Count evened up at 1-1. And that's a tough error for Tyler Cerny, the second in the inning for him. He's now up to 8 on the year. As the 1-1 pitch misses well above the letters of Gray, so Parrish falls behind him 2-0, or 2-1, excuse me.
Oh, you made something right here, huh, man?
Gray hitting .326, takes a big cut, fouls it right back into the fence behind home plate, right at the broadcaster's view.
Come on now.
Wareham already with 4 runs here in the bottom of the 4th, making it a 9-6 game. After Cotuit led 8-0 through 2.5. Gray, another high foul ball off the top of the fence behind home plate. So a pair of foul balls as Gray doing his best job staying alive, as Parrish continuing to battle against him with 5 pitches all at the top of the strike zone.
Come on now.
Best hitter with runners in scoring position on this team at a .378 clip.
This one grounded hard to Tyler Cerny, who snags it. His throw in time to nab Murph Gray. And what a play by Tyler Cerny to snag it on the forehand, keep that ball in front, and deliver a strong throw to Tanner Thatch at first base.
Just what was ordered right there. Hard hit on the ground right to Tyler Cerny, who backhanded it, was quickly up with it, looked the runner back to third, and a perfect throw over to Tanner Thatch at first to pick up the all-important second out of this frame. And so now it's an opportunity for Bryson Parrish to escape this inning, keeping Wareham at 6.
Cerny already with 2 errors in the inning. Sometimes the ball continues to find him. As Jacob Jarrell hits this one in the straightaway center field. Going back is Charles Davalon, who makes the grab for the 3rd and final out of the inning, but not before Wareham making things interesting here in the bottom of the fourth as they score 4 runs, 2 of which coming home on the 2 RBI double by Colby Turner, as it's starting to turn into a brand new ball game from Spillane Field as Cotuit leading Wareham 9-6, and now it's time to bring on Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thank you, Alex. What an action-packed inning. This is our last week of the regular season. It's crazy how fast the time has gone by. Only 3 more days of play until the playoffs. Today facing Wareham, tomorrow Falmouth home and away, and Sunday facing Bourne. Then playoffs begin on the 6th. So, Joe, what do you think the Kettleers can capitalize on in the playoffs in order to set themselves up for success?
Well, capitalizing in the rest of the regular season, you mean? I think trying to bring some momentum into the playoffs is super important, but also, I mean, to have success in the playoffs, I think the first 3 innings of the ball game, which is something that we've talked about so much in the past week where this team has struggled, is getting off to slow starts. And so I think that getting off to a hot start in that single game elimination game, whoever it's going to end up being against, getting a hot start is going to be super important, but also getting a hot start in every single game is important. They did that today, but it's also, of course, about how you finish. So let's see how they can finish the rest of this season.
I definitely agree with you getting off to a hot start. And right now, if the season ended today, it would be the matchup that's taking place, Cotuit and Wareham squaring off in a game at Lowell Park. And boy, things have always been interesting between these two teams. A couple of 4-2 victories for each squad, a 7-6 victory for the Kettleers here at Spillane Field. And then, of course, the last game being a 6-1 Kettleer victory. But to answer your question, I think Cotuit has to have more well-rounded performances. Of course, you're getting the offense today, and the defense faltered in the last inning with Tyler Cerny making a couple of fielding miscues, but you haven't really seen Cotuit play a complete game in the past couple of games or so. It's been around 5 or 6 games where they've really played a solid game, 1 through 9, where Mike Roberts can say the pitching, the defense, and the offense were all firing on all cylinders.
Yes, and I think one thing that really stands out about the Kettleers is their willingness to take risks like Jaron Avincula did earlier in today's game, stealing that base. So if we can keep up those tricky plays, stolen bases, I think it'll set us up for success. I'll see you guys again in the 6th inning.
Well, thanks, Adele, but I do think that that's a great point that you bring up, which is being so aggressive on the base pass and making other teams make mistakes. It's something that Cotuit did so well throughout the month of July, but in recent games maybe haven't found as much success in doing so, but having confidence and having the confidence and the ability to do and pull off some of those cheeky plays are something that you likely will see in the playoffs, and maybe we'll see some of that in the rest of this ball game as these two teams have made this game a shootout.
Offenses have come alive through the first 4 innings, 15 runs on both sides. Cotuit 9 runs on 16 hits, 2 errors. Wareham 6 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Excellent stuff from Adele Huffman once again. As Matthew Maloney's day is done, as Wareham going back to the bullpen for the 4th time today, calling upon the southpaw, Jack Smith, who digs in his first pitch to the lefty Tanner Thatch, taken low and outside for ball 1. And smart decision for the Gatemen, bringing in a lefty, squaring off against Tanner Thatch, Devin Taylor, Charles Davalon, and Jaron Advincula, 4 consecutive lefties in the heart of the Cotuit order, as the 1-0 pitch fouled hard right back into the fence behind home plate. Smith just added to the roster today. Rising sophomore out of the University of Arkansas, standing 6'4", 220 pounds. As the lefty delivers, Tanner Thatch has to duck out of the way for ball 2. This is something that we talked about earlier in the broadcast. Tanner Thatch, his splits against right-handed pitching versus lefties. This being his 46th at-bat against the lefty this year, where he has just 8 hits, but he crushes this one deep to right field. Going back on it is Reese Chapman near the foul line, making the grab for the first out as Tanner Thatch hit that ball a mile in the air. But when it comes down, it finds the glove of Chapman for at 1.
20, Devin Taylor.
Really hard hit ball off the bat of Tanner Thatch. And yeah, you're right. That one was kind of teetering between being in fair and foul territory, but Chapman tracks it all the way, and it's the first out of this inning. Now Devin Taylor is up. He's already 2 for 3.
Those 2 hits both going for extra bases. Pair of doubles for Devin Taylor, now up to 4 on the year. As Taylor steps out of the box on the first pitch, thought he called timeout, but it's first pitch strike issued by Jack Smith.
Okay.
Taylor has also came around to score as a pair of RBIs. As the 0-1 pitch spiked in the dirt by Smith. As Taylor lays off, count evened up at 1-1. Taylor continues to produce, now up to 4 doubles on the year, has 5 home runs, 15 RBIs in the middle of this Kettleer order. It's the 1-1 pitch. The lefty Taylor has to duck out of the way. Count is 2-1. This being the 26th game played for Devin Taylor this summer. Missed some time playing for Team USA the beginning part of July. But since he's come back, has been exactly what Mike Roberts and company have needed from him. As the 2-1 pitch, called strike 2 on the low and outside portion of the plate as the count evened up at 2-2 against Taylor. Smith shaking off the catcher, now comes set with the blue glove right at his belt. Leg kick and deals the 2-2. Taylor spoiling it away, hitting it back over our heads, over our right shoulders. Joe, that's a really cool glove by Jack Smith.
Yeah, it is, all light blue. Complementing the Red Shirt Friday uniform, also the all-white pants. But yeah, I always love it when players have the all-solid glove color, especially pitchers.
The 2-2 from Smith to Taylor, laid off for ball 3. The Wareham dugout thought that might have been strike 3, but Taylor wisely lays off and works the count full, something he's done so many times this year. Worked 3 walks yesterday. As the payoff pitch, Taylor hits this one into center field. Coming on in is William Parker. Actually, it's to the left fielder, Colby Turner, and a straightaway left field. Sometimes the ball deceives you off the bat, but it finds the glove anyway of Colby Turner. So 2 consecutive flyouts worked by Jack Smith as Tanner Thatch and Devin Taylor are the first 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, we saw Smith really targeting the low and outside part of the plate on Devin Taylor there, and so why not just go for it or go with it to the opposite way? But that time slightly jamming him, and winds up being the second out of this 5th.
The lefties come out of the bullpen, gotten 2 quick outs against 2 of the most dangerous lefties in the Kettleer lineup. So here is Charles Davalon. The count is 1-0 after Smith's first pitch missed high and away. The lefty nods his head, gets the sign from Gerald, kicks and deals the 1-0 pitch. Davalon swings. This one, another high hit pop-up. Coming on in is the right fielder, Reese Chapman, who makes the grab for the 3rd and final out of this inning. So Jack Smith comes out of the bullpen and gets 3 consecutive flyouts, 1 against Tanner Thatch, 1 against Devin Taylor, and 1 against Charles Davalon. As Cotuit still leading 9-6 through 4.5 from Spillane Field. And we'll step aside for a quick commercial break. And when we do, my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, will take you the rest of the way with the Kettleers leading by 3.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there.
Bottom of the fifth inning from Spillane Field. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco are with you, and the Kettleers have scored 9 runs so far in this ball game. No runs since the top of the fourth inning, though, as it was an offensive explosion where they took a 7-0 lead. But now the Gatemen have surged for 6 runs in the last 2 frames, and it is a 9-6 ball game as Reese Chapman takes ball 1 low there to start off this bottom of the fifth. So far today, he's 0 for 2. And the next pitch from the righty Bryson Parrish is fouled way back off the brick of the school that's behind us, and then that ricocheted back into the infield. Wow.
Ball was smoked. We got to look out in here. There's no protection behind us, and ball was shot right off the brick of the school and right in fair territory.
Scary moment. Never seen that here. Now a 1-1 from Parrish is fouled off the glove of Grant J. It'll be a 1-2 count to him. Almost had one come into the broadcast booth a few innings ago. There's a big school right behind us, and the lights are on at Spillane Field, and the 1-2 offering is chopped high on the ground to Bryson Parrish, who's over to get it and will run it to the first base bag himself for the first out.
Nice job by Bryson Parrish, who working against Reese Chapman, attacking him at the top of the strike zone, then mixes in a pitch at the bottom of the zone and gets Chapman to roll over, and just a weak contact ground ball right back to him out on the mound.
Now it's Eli Putnam, right-handed swinger. He's 1 for 2 today. Run scored after a single in the last inning, the 4th. Facing Parrish for the second time. Now he shows bunt. It makes contact with his bat, but rolls down the third base line towards the Wareham dugout and foul. So an 0-1 count to Eli Putnam, who was swinging a hot bat going into the game yesterday, but went 0 for 3 against Chatham. And even despite the offensive woes for the Gatemen, he remained slightly consistent as he chops that one down the third base line again, and it's foul. He was swinging away there at the 0-1 offering from Bryson Parrish. But he was asked a couple of days ago about offensive production with this team and about being down 2 strikes, as this 0-2 pitch is rolled on the ground just past Bryson Parrish into the glove of Jaron Advincula, who throws on the run in time at first to get Eli Putnam there.
Jaron Advincula making that play look easy, and that is not an easy play at all, as Bryson Parrish tried to go with the backhand flip, but the ball evades his glove, and Jaron Advincula running right up the middle, fielding that ball on the grass in front of the second base bag and making a twisting throw across his body just in the nick of time to nab Putnam for the second out.
Eli Putnam still working on that 2-strike approach, as the new batter will be Antonio Jimenez. No official at-bats recorded today. Pair of walks has also scored 2 runs. He watches that one all the way in, nearly checks his swing, but didn't go around, and it's ball 1 from Bryson Parrish. But Antonio Jimenez advancing to second and third back in the third inning on a pair of wild pitches, and those really wild pitches that plagued that third inning for Luis Misla. But this one is a swing and a pop-up on the infield. Jaron Advincula in the baseline will pull down the third and final out of this bottom of the fifth frame. So we send it to the 6th with the Kettleers still in front 9-6 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Requires more than just knowledge of the law. Requires a mastery of good representation.
15 hits for the Kettleers through the first 3 innings here at Spillane Field, and they have won in the last 2 frames. We're set down in order for the first time in the last inning, the top of the 5th frame on 3 flyouts, and they were facing Matthew Maloney, who was into the 4th inning. Tony Pluta also was in this game, as well as Cole Lehman. But also another pitcher into this game for Wareham, Jack Smith, was able to calm things down in that 5th frame. And now he will face Jaron Advincula, Grant Jay, and Tyler Cerny in the top of the 6th. So these 3 in the order have all reached base at least once in this ball game. Jaron Advincula is 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a run scored, and 3 singles. And the lefty will face the left-handed throwing Jack Smith out of Arkansas. Smith with the light blue glove peers in, nods his head up and down once, and comes set from the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Advincula. The lefty takes a breaking ball down the heart of the plate for a called strike 1. But Advincula, a guy who's been so aggressive at the plate, and we've seen that happen in all 3 of his at-bats today. 2 of his base knocks coming with 2 strikes in the order. Next breaking ball nearly hit him on the front leg. He had to bend out of the way of that pitch, and it's a 1-1 count to Advincula. Left-handed swinger who is batting in the 6th spot today for the Kettleers. Playing at second base as always. As that bat dipped down beneath his left shoulder. Now he shoots that one to the first base bag. It's a race between him and Eli Putnam. Putnam beats him there at first for the first out of this 6th inning.
That was another hard hit ball by Advincula as Putnam spears it right at first base, races Advincula to the bag, and just showing off the speed of Jaron Advincula, making that a close play at the bag on just what seemed like a routine ground ball to the first baseman.
And now with that out, they get the lefty down, and Jack Smith's day will be done. So he comes into the game, faces 4 batters, 4 up, 4 down, and now with 3 righties set to dig in. Grant Jay, Tyler Cerny, and Timo Becerra. They will hit their bullpen for another time today. It'll be the 5th arm used by the Gatemen in this contest, and with the Kettleers in front 9-6, we'll take a quick break here from Spillane Field.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape.
And we're back from Spillane Field. New pitcher into the ball game for the Gatemen. He'll be facing Grant Jay, who so far today is 1 for 2 at the plate. An RBI, 2 RBI single back in the first inning, and a looking strikeout. And he will look at strike 1 right there over the heart of the plate. And now it's Grant Jay who will bat after Jaron Advincula, who faced Jack Smith as that next pitch is fouled back into the screen from Grant Jay. So he's now down in the count 0-2 against the new pitcher Zane Coppersmith. Not the first time we've seen Zane Coppersmith throw against the Kettleers yet this season. In this season series that has been dominated by the Kettleers. Grant Jay will watch that 0-2 pitch fall low and outside. 1-2 the count to him, but Cotuit owning the season series to this point 3-1. Outscoring the Gatemen 19-13 going into this ball game. So make that 28-23 with the run scored today, 9-6, as that one misses low and away, and it's a 2-2 count to Grant Jay. Coppersmith with the all-black glove. He peers in, working kind of from a hybrid wind-up stretch delivery. Now he kicks and deals a fastball that misses outside, and Grant Jay has run this count full. So after falling back in the count 0-2, he brings it all the way back to 3-2, and Grant Jay trying to get on base for the third time today. Here it comes. Catapults this one to straightaway center field. Going back on it as Will Parker. Now he settles under it, battling some wind, but he will make the grab in straightaway center to make the first out of the day for Zane Coppersmith and second out of this 6th inning.
It's exactly what you want if you're Coppersmith, coming out of the bullpen and getting a weak contact fly out by Grant Jay in a straightaway center field. And really nice pitching by Jack Smith, who came in, faced 4 lefties, and got 4 balls that were put in play and letting his defense make the plays for him.
Now Tyler Cerny steps in and takes a called strike 1. Cerny already a hit today. He's 1 for 3. A pair of flyouts other than that. And the 0-1 offering is another fastball that hits the outer portion of the plate. 0-2. Tyler Cerny going into this game was struggling at the plate, a 194 hitter through 28 games. 0-2. Gets a piece of that one, launches it straight back over the press box, and it's still an 0-2 count to him. Right-handed swinger out of Indiana University, who started all 60 games this past season for the Hoosiers, and would have had the best batting average on the team had it not been for his Kettleers teammate Devin Taylor. Tyler Cerny takes upstairs. It's 1-2, but he hit .315 still, which probably would have led a lot of college baseball rosters. But of course, Devin Taylor's on batting average well above that, as that one skips over the left shoulder of Jacob Jarrell, and it's another 3-2 count here, this time against Tyler Cerny. Infielders and outfielders are playing straight up. The lights are on, and slight pause before this pitch because Jacob Jarrell's pitch comm appeared to have come loose.
Mentioned the battle for hits between Tyler Cerny and Devin Taylor. Well, Devin Taylor might have led Indiana in hits, but Tyler Cerny got him in RBIs, led the team with 60 RBIs compared to Devin Taylor's 54, and just such two very talented hitters for Indiana, and the Hoosiers and their coaching staff very lucky to have both Cerny and Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lineup that we've talked about as really strong in the Big Ten, one of the best in that whole conference. As Tyler Cerny goes after a third pitch strikeout, and he fans through that fastball for strike 3. So Zane Coppersmith is able to enter into this ball game after Jack Smith and get 2 quick outs to end this 6th frame. So 3 up, 3 down go the Kettleers with the pitching change, and they still lead at 9-6 as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasick, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasick Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasick Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasick Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Mason Davenport is into the game for the Kettleers. He's the third arm used today after Bryson Parrish went 2 frames. Luis Misla started off the game with 3 innings pitched, and now Mason Davenport is out there. The tall right-hander is set to make his 3rd appearance for the Kettleers so far this summer. 2 appearances so far, 3 2/3 innings, and a guy who is facing the bottom of this Wareham lineup, Reese Rivera, Will Parker, and Johan Desiro, the one man in the order. So they'll go 8, 9, and 1. And Alex, it's really been the bottom half of the order that has gotten things going today for the Gatemen.
That it has, and Antonio Jimenez, who's hitting 7th in the order, has reached twice on 2 walks and came around to score both times. William Parker, who's set to hit 2nd in this inning, he's 1 for 1 with a single and also reached on a walk. Aris Rivera reached on a fielding miscue, and it's been the 7, 8, 9 hitters that have allowed guys like Johan Desiro, Colby Turner, and of course Murph Gray to have hit runners on base when they're coming up, and boy, they cashed in.
Especially in those last 2 innings before the 3 up, 3 down 5th, and the first pitch here to Aris Rivera misses low and outside. So Mason Davenport starts him off with a ball. Davenport, 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts through those nearly 4 innings pitched so far this summer, and one of the new recently added pitchers to this roster who comes set with the tan glove above his belt. The 1-0. Catches his own, low and away. 1-1 the count to Rivera. 0 for 2 so far today, reached on an error his last time up in the 4th, also struck out swinging as the 6'9" right-hander Mason Davenport comes set, and the 1-1 home is a breaking ball that's launched on the ground. A 2-hopper to Tyler Cerny, who's up with it and throws to first in time by a step to get Rivera running up the first base line.
Cerny waiting back on that baseball, had a couple of baseballs eat him up earlier in the game, and Cerny waiting back, playing it on the high hop, making the throw, and another nice stretch by Tanner Thatch over there at first base, barely keeping his back foot on the bag, but we've seen that play by Tanner Thatch so many times this year, just so athletic at first base, continuing to save more base runners for this Kettleer defense.
Yeah, big stretch from Tanner Thatch, the anchor of this infield, and now that one is a first pitch up and away from Mason Davenport to the new batter, Will Parker, who's 1 for 1. Scored 2 runs. He's also walked and singled his last time up in the 4th. Next pitch from Davenport was hit hard to beat that field. Down back on it is Thompson. He's looking up, and that ball is over the bullpen. A solo home run for Will Parker. And the Gatemen inch closer to Cotuit's lead. It's now 9-7.
Will Parker have a day after going 0 for 2 in his first game in Wareham, now reaching in all 3 plate appearances, 2 for 2, and crushing his first homer, and got a pitch he could drive from Mason Davenport, and making no mistake depositing it right over the left field wall.
Not a bad way to find your first extra base hit in this league. Deposits that one over the bullpen to the left field corner, and this first pitch is fouled off of the umpire behind home plate. Josh Garcia eating that one after it barely caught a piece of Johan Desiro's bat, who's now down in the count 0-1 to Mason Davenport. That was the first earned run allowed by Mason Davenport through his first 3 appearances this season, and now that one skips in there, blocked by Grant J. And it's a 1-1 count to Desiro, who's 0 for 3, but an RBI back in the 3rd inning on a sacrifice fly, 2 strikeouts other than that. Davenport allowed 4 home runs this past season at Kansas City Community College throughout his 12 starts, 15 total appearances. As this one is off the end of the bat of Desereau. Leaping up is Davenport, and he turns and fires to first in time there to get the second out.
Davenport, standing 6'9", out on the mound, is such an imposing figure and had to leap up just to keep that ball. Would have been a tough play if Davenport couldn't glove it down, but using that 6'9" frame, leaping up, making the grab and the easy throw in time to nab Desereau.
Now it's Colby Turner. Some fans headed to the exits as this game continues to progress, but a couple of strong innings are shaping up to be in these last few, as it's a 9-7 ball game. And now Colby Turner, after fanning through that first pitch fastball, is down in the count 0-1. So far today, he's 1 for 2. Davenport stretches home the 0-1. There's a fastball, and he's ahead 0-2. Infield and outfield playing straight up. Davenport allowed a home run earlier on in this inning, but 2 weak contact groundouts other than that. Now the 0-2 offering to Turner is hit hard into straightaway center field. Davalon charging in, and he will reach up and make the running grab to put an end to this bottom of the 6th inning. So Davenport is able to escape this 6th frame, but not before allowing the solo home run off the bat of Will Parker. And the Kettleers are still in front 9-7 as we move into the 7th frame here from Spillane Field. You're listening to Cotuit Baseball here on the Kettleers Radio Network. And before we send it to that 7th frame, let's check in once more with Adele Huffman.
Obviously, you two are some lovely broadcasters, but we also have some amazing writers. Connor Smith, Shane Patagna, and Jimmy Middleton. Connor recently wrote about Cotuit's brand new pitching staff, where you can find an amazing quote from Mikey Ebner about realizing your potential as he was speaking to the other pitchers on the team. Jimmy recently wrote about Elliot Wolf's journey to becoming a coach for the Cotuit Kettleers. In the past few years, he's been very dedicated to the Kettleers and finally ended up as a coach because of Mike Roberts' recommendation. So you can read that up on the website. And recently, Shane wrote about our matchup against the Orleans Firebirds, and his article really put into perspective how important these remaining games are. So even if you miss the game, you can check it out on our website. So, you know, support our amazing writers that we have this summer.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they help us out so much with information and things like that. And of course, they're obviously a team of 3 or 4 writers. Abigail Lott in there as well. Jimmy Middleton, Connor Smith, Shane Patagna. And those are the people who are showing up and doing a lot of work that goes unnoticed at the ball games. And so to get a lot of information from them and see their hard work pay off, it's really great to see.
That it is, and they've helped us out so much and prepping for broadcast, giving us stats throughout the year, and they do excellent work. So definitely, if you have the chance, go check out and read their stuff, and just can't wait to see, because they're all 4 of them are super, super talented, and they have such bright futures ahead of them.
Absolutely. So be sure to stay tuned up on our Kettleers website because they bring the best.
That they do. Thanks, Adele. Great information, as always, about the Kettleers writers. And yeah, you're going to have to check out that great article that Jimmy Middleton wrote about Elliot Wolf and his path from being a game day intern and being a field worker at Lowell Park all the way to having a position on this coaching staff. So Timo Becerra will lead off this top of the 7th inning and take a breaking ball low and outside for strike 1.
Read that story earlier today. Just excellent work.
That went in off the hands of Becerra. It's flared above the dugout. 0-2.
Had some free time before the game and decided to check it out, and just really, really extremely well written.
I wasn't able to catch that article. What was your favorite part?
Just some of the quotes and hearing how Elliot's journey has expanded through being an intern and now being on the coaching staff, and just the bond that he shared with Mike Roberts. It really was touching.
I know that those two have developed on that bond throughout these past couple summers, and when it came down to filling some positions on the coaching staff this offseason, Mike Roberts didn't really know who to go to, but decided to make the decision to bring on Will Thompson, who was also an intern here for a couple seasons, and also now Elliot Wolf, who joined the staff, as it's now a 3-2 count to Timo Becerra as he takes 3 straight balls, the last one there finding the dirt, and he has worked this count all the way back up to full. So he's already 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a walk, and now the 3-2 offering from Coppersmith. Into the windup he deals. It's a fastball that Becerra just sticks the barrel out and gets a piece of. It flares out of play on the first base side, and still a 3-2 count to the right-handed swinging third baseman today, who's batting in the 9 hole. It'll be Brandon Compton and Nathan Hall after him, who have both had incredibly productive days at the plate. This is a solid part of the lineup for the Kettleers coming up in this 7th inning, as they're looking for their first run since the top of the 4th. Righty Coppersmith with the 3-2 once more, fouled straight back by Becerra. 3-2 still.
They're looking for their first hit since that 4th inning. Last base hit, Jaron Advincula, a leadoff single in that 4th inning.
They've loaded the bases twice in this game, and now following up that 4th inning have gone 6 up, 6 down. The 3-2, that one taken back through the right side of the infield and into right field for a single. Timo Becerra, his second base knock of the day, and it leads off this 7th inning as the Kettleers with a much-needed base runner, and just as you brought up, their first hit since the 4th inning.
Timo Becerra continuing to have a good day at the dish, working deep into the count, battling and fighting off a couple of tough pitches, laying off a couple of pitches on the outside part of the plate, and then got a pitch right over the heart of the plate that he could drive and shot it the other way into right field. And Becerra picking up his second hit today, and he's reached in 3 of 4 of his plate appearances.
Just a great day at the plate for Becerra, who was in and out of the lineup in the last week, was one of his last 13 going into today. And now 2 for 3. Brandon Compton takes a called strike 1 at his knees, and he's down in the count 0-1. Compton started off the day 2 for 2, followed up with a deep fly out to right field and then a sacrifice fly that brought home the aforementioned 9th run in that 4th inning. The 0-1. He saws that one off and off of his hands, and it goes right over our heads on the third base side to the last row of the home grandstand that's just behind us. So there's us in the shark cage on top of the end of the Wareham dugout. And then just to our left is the home grandstand. Open field after that down the left field line, where some of the Wareham arms warm up, stretch out in the out of bounds territory down there. The 0-2 pitch from Coppersmith is a breaking ball blocked by Jacob Jarrell. He smothers that and looks Becerra back to first. And it's a 1-2 count to Compton now. But Brandon Compton is having a stellar campaign. 302 hitter through 34 games, 35 base knocks, and make it 37. Today, he leads this team with now 29 RBIs. Coppersmith takes a peek over at first at Becerra. Now he comes set. The righty throws. Compton spoils that one, foul high down the left field line once more. But he's someone who, out of high school, had to miss his freshman year. Underwent UCL surgery after his senior year of high school. And then that took him out of play for the entire 2023 season at Arizona State. Made his way to the Northwoods League that summer in 2023, made the All-Star team, won the All-Star Game MVP, was also the league leader in RBIs of the Northwoods last summer. As this 1-2 pitch is cracked on the ground towards second base, Desereau underhand flips to second. Right to first is in time for 2. So just like that, after the leadoff man gets on base, Brandon Compton grounds into a 4-6-3 double play, and there are 2 gone for Nathan Hall.
As a tailor-made double play ball right to Johan Desereau. Second base makes the easy flip to Antonio Jimenez, who doubles up Brandon Compton, and all the momentum that Timo Becerra, you get a leadoff single, just erased after the 4-6-3 double play.
So here's Nathan Hall, right-handed hitter, who has made solid contact with every single ball he's hit into play so far today. And now he takes a breaking ball outside for strike 1. But so far, a single, a sacrifice fly, a triple, and then a line out to left field his last time up. But Nathan Hall now down 0-1. The next offering from Coppersmith is a breaking ball shot through the right side, and that dunks down for a hit in right field. So the third hit of the day for Nathan Hall. It comes with 2 gone in the 7th.
Have a day, Nathan Hall. You could never tell in his last 4 games that he was just 1 for 9 and really swinging a hot bat. Has laced a couple of hard hit balls today. This time going the opposite way and picking up his 3rd hit today and another single.
So before Tanner Thatch's at bat, the assistant coach for Wareham will walk out to the mound. We'll see if he'll decide to bring in a new arm for Zane Coppersmith. Of course, it's a right-handed pitcher, so do you think maybe they go to the pen and bring in a lefty here?
I think that could definitely be the case. As St. Coppersmith's day is done, and you saw them have success earlier when employing that strategy. Jack Smith came on and faced 4 hitters, all 4 lefties. Thatch, Taylor, Dablon, and Advincula got 4 consecutive outs, and all relatively weak contact as they're once again going to go to another lefty.
Oh yeah, let's go.
So they bring on the lefty to face this left-handed packed middle of the lineup for the Kettleers. It'll be Tanner Thatch, followed by Devin Taylor if necessary, but there are 2 gone in this 7th frame, and we'll take a quick break from Spillane Field. Don't go anywhere on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at
It's time for Hudson Lee's 4th appearance of the summer. He'll be facing Tanner Thatch and Devin Taylor if he's able to, as there are 2 gone in this 7th frame. But Wareham coaching staff deciding to go to the lefty here after Coppersmith pitches a couple innings in this frame and in this game, I should say. But there have been a lot of pitchers used on both sides for these 2 squads, but mainly for Wareham as another arm is used. Coppersmith goes an inning and a third, gives up 2 hits and strikes out 1.
6 pitchers used for Wareham, just 3 for the Kettleers, and it's been kind of mix and match after Cole Lehman, the starter, went just an inning and a third, allowing 10 hits.
And no pitcher has gone over an inning and 2/3 today. It was Tony Pluta who came in after Lehman. So now the lefty is going to check back at first. Nathan Hall is back in there standing up, as there was so much noise from the Wareham dugout down beneath us here on the third base side. Really just trying to get in the head of these batters, and also Nathan Hall, who takes a short lead over at first. So the lefty Lee selling for the first time to Tanner Thatch. It's a low and inside breaking ball, dotted there for a called strike 1. But Hudson Lee is into the game for his 4th appearance this summer, has so far pitched in 3 innings, allowed 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 hit by pitches. 0-1. Thatch takes a big cut and comes up empty. He's down to 0-2.
We talked about it earlier, just the splits that Thatch has against righties and lefties, hitting just around 175 against left-handed pitching, and smart move by Wareham, bring in another lefty to face the dangerous Thatch.
He stretches home. Hall takes off, pitches up and low throw from Turner. Gerald is not in time as Hall slides in safely with the head first slide. His 6th stolen bag of the summer.
Hall got a good jump, especially against the lefty. Always tough to read against the lefty, but Hall with a good jump, using his speed, swiping second.
Thatch is 2 for 4 today. Down in the count 1-2 here to Hudson Lee, who peers in. Ball in his bare left hand meets the leather of his glove. Now he looks back at second a couple of times and throws home, and time was called there by Jacob Gerald, it appeared.
Oh, Josh.
Lee was going through his motion, about to release that ball when time was granted.
Jacob Gerald is wondering and asking the home plate umpire Joshua Garcia if Tanner Thatch is crowding the plate a little bit too much. And Alex, it's not the first time that we've seen that.
A couple of games ago, I believe it was the game against Orleans, where it was another game where they asked if Tanner Thatch was standing right on the plate. He's a guy who does stand really close to the plate, and that's what allows him to have success against right-handed pitching.
Here's the 1-2. Takes a breaking side, and he's run out for strike 3. So Hudson re-enters into the ballgame and gets the looking strikeout of 10. In fact, as the Kettleers leave a runner on second base and still lead this ballgame at 9-7. We send it to the home half of the 7th here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there.
That's kind of luscious right there.
Bottom of the 7th inning from Spillane Field. Cotuit still in control 9-7. As Wareham was able to get a run in the bottom of that 6th frame off Mason Davenport. It was a solo home run off the bat of William Parker. But now it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to face Davenport today. Murph Gray, Jacob Jarrell, and Reese Chapman. Part of the toughest part of this order for Davenport. And we will have some defensive substitutions for the Kettleers. Luke Hansen will replace Tyler Cerny in the infield. And Luke Hansen will shift over to third base as Timo Becerra will move to shortstop. So Tyler Cerny's day is done, who put the ball in play a couple of times but just couldn't find green grass. And so now Luke Hansen gets another appearance in the field, but Murph Gray digs in. He checks his swing at the first pitch he sees. It tips off the end of his bat, and he is down 0-1. 1 for 3 so far on the day is Murph Gray, a guy who has been likely the most productive hitter in this lineup for Wareham all season. But recently, his teammate Eli Putnam tying him for the team lead in home runs with 5 this week. Next pitch is 0-1 from Davenport. This is rolling away with the breaking ball, and he's back to 1-1. So Murph Gray going into this contest, a .323 hitter, had 9 hits in his last 8 games. 1 of those left the yard. Now leading off this 7th, 1-1. He takes a fastball and is down 1-2. Great location there from Davenport.
Really excellent pitch, and Davenport made just one mistake, and it left the yard off the bat of Will Parker. And besides that, got a couple of weak contact outs of Johan Desero, Aris Rivera, and Colby Turner.
He readies the 1-2. Fastball, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire, and Murph Gray is striking out for the first out of this 7th inning.
Now batting.
Really good job by Mason Davenport, mixing speeds, mixing location. The first 3 pitches against Murph Gray all dotted at the lower portion of the zone. That then went with the high fastball with pitch number 4. And Gray tried to check his swing, but he went around. It's a big first strikeout for Davenport.
Now it's Jacob Jarrell. Cleanup hitter, fights that one off into left field. That one will back down and take a hook to the glove of Brandon Compton. Much needed base hit for Jacob Jarrell, who going into that at bat was 2 for his last 17. And he reaches with 1 gone in the 7th.
Compton playing deep in left field, had to run in against the cleanup hitter Jarrell, and that ball was sinking in fast. Compton letting it bounce and playing it on a hop as Jarrell reaches for his first hit tonight.
It's been the middle of this lineup for Wareham that has really fell silent. Jacob Gerald with his first hit right there, and now Reese Chapman, who's 0 for 3. As they'll take a look over at first, and Gerald dives back in there safely.
And Chapman's just one of 2 players in this game not to reach base, the other being Johan Desero, but he had an RBI back in the 3rd inning.
Pitch to the lefty, Chapman is low and away, called a strike 1.
Chapman 0 for 3 with a pair of flyouts and a ground out.
Yeah, back.
Has made solid contact, except on the last one, that was a dribbler straight back up to the mound. And now they look back at first again. Gerald's in there standing up this time. He hasn't attempted a stolen base yet this season. Takes a short lead there as Tanner Thatch holds him on. The rest of the infield is straight up, and the pitch from Davenport. Fans, Reese Chapman for strike 1. Swings right through that fastball, and he's now down 0-2. So Luke Hansen, the new third baseman, is playing about 8 feet off the third base line. Normal depth in the middle infield are Timo Becerra and Jaron Advincula. Davenport set, takes a peek at first, and now throws a high and away fastball that brings Grant Jay out of the crouch. And he gloves it. A 1-2 count here to Reese Chapman, who played in 50 games and was able to be somewhat productive at Tennessee this past season, but wasn't able to find his way on that roster as it is up and away on the next offering. 2-2 to him. Someone who only played in 15 games and hit .263 as a freshman. This is 20th game played this summer. Here's the 2-2. It misses low and inside. Chapman backs up out of the way of it, and it's a full count to him. So the left-handed swinger has worked this count all the way full against Mason Davenport, who's still dealing with that runner on first. That's where he looks right now, and now refocuses home. He's set the 3-2. Chapman watches it go by his ankles, and he's on his way to first for the first time today.
If it's a walk, you get.
Now batting number 11.
Not the at-bat that Mason Davenport really wanted to have against Reese Chapman after starting him out with 2 strikes. Had him 0-2 in the count and then just lost control. A couple of pitches taken at the top of the strike zone. The last 2 pitches at the knees of the lefty Reese Chapman. And now you're facing the dangerous Eli Putnam, who we talked about earlier, really swinging the bat well.
Came into this ball game 273, now 278 as he's 1 for 3. And he'll watch a fastball dot the outer edge for a called strike 1. But Eli Putnam, who has been successful, as you mentioned, his last 10 games. He's 10 for his last 33. A pair of those have left the yard as the 0-1 offering gets away from Grant Jay on the backhand. It goes back to the backstop, and both runners move up to second and third.
Beautiful. Great call.
So this is a big moment here, Alex, as anything put into the outfield likely scores 1 run, could score 2 on a base hit.
Now it eliminates the threat of a double play as Cotuit bring the infield in, trying to keep this ball in the infield as the middle infielders were walking in with Timo Becerra, Jaron Advincula for a moment, and they go back to normal depth.
Davenport set, peering at second. Now he throws home on the 1-1 offering, and it's a swing and a miss from Eli Putnam, who's back to 1-2. But Eli Putnam was talking earlier this week saying how every now and then pitchers are able to get ahead of you, and you spend about half the game with 2 strikes on you as a hitter. And so at the end of the day, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now he ropes this one on the ground. Rolling back in this game to tie it up at 9-9.
Putnam hit that ball hard up the middle. Timo Becerra got a glove on it and honestly worked to the disadvantage of the Kettleers as Becerra stole that ball up Charles Davalon. It's a run a long way in from center field as both runs came in to score. Gerald and Chapman with 1 swing of the bat. Wareham has tied this game up at 9.
Now here's Antonio Jimenez with the runner on first. Jimenez has reached twice on a pair of walks. Other than that, he's 0 for 1. Davenport throws and takes a called strike 1 with the breaking ball. Nice pitch there for Mason Davenport as Antonio Jimenez didn't like that call.
I don't think Jimenez was the only person who didn't like that call. I think the entire Wareham dugout disagreed with that call.
Next pitch. Another breaking ball. This one finds the dirt. It's backhanded by Grant J, and it's a 1-1 count to him. Antonio Jimenez out of the University of Miami, fashioning that all orange barreled bat with the black handle, white tape around it. Misses with the fastball low and away, and it's a 2-1 count to Jimenez. With the runner taking his lead at first, it's Eli Putnam. Putnam just improved to 2 for 4, and Antonio Jimenez has also reached a pair of times today. Now ahead 2-1. Here comes the next pitch. Jimenez swings and misses, and he's back to 2-2.
Here we go. Right here on your feet.
Jimenez 7 hits in his last 10 games. That's good for a 206 clip. 218 overall. Next pitch finds the hit. As that slugs the second base bag.
Jay popped up fast out of the crouch there and just lost control of that ball as it popped out of his hand and went just a little bit behind home plate. As Putnam got a good jump, would have been a bang play at the bag, but he swiped second for his 8th stolen bag of the year.
Davenport ready. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and foul straight back into the.
Bad.
So with the runner in scoring position, it's a massive moment for the Kettleers as there's just one gone in this inning. Infielders are playing straight up, and the 3-2 once more from Davenport. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big strikeout for Mason Davenport as he picks up the second out of this 7th inning, keeping that runner on second.
Davenport once again going back to the high fastball to fan Antonio Jimenez. Up at the same pitch to get the strikeout against Murph Gray. And 2 crucial outs as Davenport just 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
Here we go.
And this will be a pinch hitter for the Gatemen in the spot of Eris Rivera, who was 0 for 3. It'll be Nate Early, who digs in as a left-handed bat against the right-handed throwing Davenport, who's looking at second as he comes set. Now he throws home. And that's a track swing. They'll appeal down to the man. He says he didn't go.
Nate Early struggling in his last 6 games, 1 for 14. And if there was a definition of he's due, it's Nate Early right now.
Now he takes a big cut, and it's a 1-1 count. Yeah, the 1 hit being a double, also 6 strikeouts in that span for Early. As the lefty awaits this 1-1 offering from Davenport. Here it comes. This is well at the ankles, 2-1 to count to him. So that's the end of the day for Eris Rivera. He reached on an error back in the 4th inning, was 0 for 2 other than that. And so he is replaced for Nate Early. We've already seen in a couple of games against the Kettleers so far this summer, the 2-1. Early backs up out of the pitch, but it's a called strike 2. Delayed call from Joshua Garcia behind the plate, but works in the Kettleers' favor, and now Davenport is 1 strike away from escaping this 7th frame. Putnam takes a big lead on second, the 2-2 home. In off the hands of Early. Down the left field line it goes. Hansen into foul territory, leaning over, and he will make the grab. Nice catch by Luke Hansen. He trapped that one deep into foul territory and pulled down the 3rd out at the bottom of the 7th inning. But that did not come before. The Gatemen put up 2 runs on a 2 RBI single from Eli Putnam, and he just recently knotted up this ball game at 9-9. So don't go anywhere. We got a good one from Spillane Field as we move into the 8th inning here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Volmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Volmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? ZoomInfo's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, ZoomInfo's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today.
The Wareham dugout is energized as we move into the top of the 8th inning here on the Kettleers Radio Network. It'll be the heart of the Cotuit lineup coming up to bat as the Wareham Gatemen have scored 3 unanswered runs and have roared back in a game that they were once down 8-0 in. And it is now a 9-9 score as Devin Taylor will lead off this top of the 8th. So far today is already 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles. First pitch. Breaking ball low and inside to Taylor from Hudson Lee, who entered into the 7th inning to face just one batter. It was Tanner Thatch, and he got him looking to escape that frame, leave a runner in scoring position. And now Devin Taylor takes another fastball up and inside. He tucks his hands to his chest and lets that one enter in up and inside. It's 2-0 to him. As it was a pair of doubles in the 2nd and 3rd innings for Devin Taylor, drove in a run on each of them. And now the 2-0 pitch. Takes low and away, and a 3-0 advantage for Devin Taylor to start off the 8th inning.
2 seconds. That's like 2 big countries right looking at each other.
Taylor, with already 5 walks in his last 4 games, now takes up and inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to him as he's headed to first base, and that's exactly what the Kettleers needed in response to allowing the Gatemen back into this ball game as it's tied 9-9, but they got their leadoff man on just as they did an inning ago.
That's massive for Devin Taylor, continuing to reach in this game. Like you mentioned, had 5 walks in the last few games. Now picks up another one here and continuing to do a job reaching for the 3rd time today. And anytime you can put the leadoff man on, it always creates a threat on the base passes. Now there's a mound visit and bringing up Charles Davalon, who started off the day 2 for 2, but has fallen on hard times after that with a strikeout and a weak flyout to Reese Chapman and right.
And now a mound visit with one of the members of the coaching staff for Wareham, the entire infield. As Devin Taylor is on first, and do you think we could see maybe a bunt play here from Mike Roberts? This offense has been held silent.
I think it could definitely be in the cards, and especially you look at the man who's in the on-deck circle, Jaron Advincula, who's 3 for 4 today with 3 hard-hit singles, and even the ground out that he had was a hard-hit ground ball to Eli Putnam at first base, and Advincula is a guy who really thrives with runners in scoring position, so you could definitely see some small ball, maybe put Devin Taylor in motion and try a hit and run and see if Mike Roberts gets creative here.
And it's number 24, Charles Davalon. 24.
Yeah, Glue.
Davalon put to rest an 0 for 7 stretch at the plate by starting off the day 2 for 2, but as he just brought up, is 0 for 2 since then. An opportunity to reinvigorate his bat as Murph Gray is playing up on the grass at third base. Holding the run around at first is Putnam as both middle infielders are playing back, and Devin Taylor is ushered back to the first base bag standing up on the pickoff attempt from Hudson Lee, who stays in the game after the mound visit and peers into Charles Davalon. He comes set with the glove at his belt. The throw nearly misses everything. Nice glove there on the righty box by Jacob Gerald to keep it in front, and it's a 1-0 count to Davalon.
It's a huge block from Gerald there. Would have eliminated the potential bunt play for Charles Davalon.
Do right here. Here we go.
1-0. Not sure bunt, but taking a strike 1 is Davalon. 1-1 the count to the left-handed swinger out of the Gulf Coast, who's headed to Arkansas this upcoming season. A guy who, despite standing at 5'10", has sneaky pop at 10 home runs this past season as a freshman. As they'll check on Taylor at first once more, and he was in there standing up. So it's still a 1-1 count to Charles Davalon, who is part of the All-ASUN Conference freshman team this past spring. And the next offering up and inside, he flings his hands to the sky and gets out of the way of that pitch, and it's 2-1. These pitches are close from Hudson Lee, but a solid eye from these Kettleers batters in the last inning or so, other than a couple of pitches here to Taylor and Davalon as Taylor short lead at first, dancing around there, trying to draw Lee off guard, but the pitch is a breaking ball that's too far inside, and now a 3-1 advantage to Davalon.
All these pitches from Hudson Lee close to being called to strike, but Charles Davalon showing off his discipline with 3 really tough takes.
The 3-1. Davalon takes a fastball low and away, and the Kettleers put 2 runners on base to start off the 8th inning. And here comes Jaron Advincula.
And this is the guy that you want to have up. Jaron Advincula, a guy who has crushed baseballs, especially with runners in scoring position. Came into today with 13 RBIs with runners in scoring position. Added to that earlier with his bases loaded RBI single back in the first.
Takes a cut at the first pitch he sees. Sends a 2-hopper to short. Up with it is Jimenez. Second and 1 throw to first is in time there for 2. So Jaron Advincula immediately grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. All of that momentum that the Kettleers were developing in this 8th frame is now gone.
Advincula hit that Taylor made to Antonio Jimenez at shortstop, and it was a bang-bang play at the first base bag as Advincula was busting it the entire way down and nearly legged that out. Would have been a huge momentum boost for Cotuit. Would have been runners on the corners with 1 out, but the call doesn't go the way for Advincula, and Mike Roberts' squad is quickly there's 2 gone.
And that'll be the day for Hudson Lee, who was able to do his job, work through the middle of this order. He faces 4 batters, is able to complete 3 outs as there's still a man just 90 feet away. It's Devin Taylor. Grant J is at the plate. New pitcher into the ballgame. It'll be a righty, the 7th arm used by the Gatemen today. And we'll take a quick break from Spillane Field. Still 9-9 your score here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, Sam Meddard is the new pitcher into the game for the Gatemen. He'll be facing Grant J, with Devin Taylor standing just 90 feet away at third. It'll be Meddard's 2nd appearance against the Kettleers so far this summer. The righty comes set with the blonde glove in front of his chest and deals home. Jay rockets the one on the right center field, making his way over to it. He leads right the first pitch he saw. He took it to right field, but it winds up in the top of the 8th frame. It will leave a man just 90 feet away. And they stay under the Wareham 9-9. I'll go to the home half of the game. Here the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
First base coach fires.
Zach Duenas is into the game for the Kettleers to throw in this bottom of the 8th inning, trying to keep down the Wareham Gatemen. He'll be facing William Parker, Johan Dessler, and Colby Turner, 9, 1, and 2 in this order, and this is a scary part of the order to have to face.
That it is, and we've seen this bottom of the order, especially William Parker, have a lot of success today. He's 2 for 2. Has scored all three of his at-bats. It has 3 runs, blasted his first home run as a Gateman just 2 innings ago, and it's really been this bottom of the order that's gotten on base and set things up for the top of the order. Guys like Colby Turner, Murph Gray, and Jacob Jarrell, who Colby Turner has 2 RBIs, Jarrell has an RBI, Gray has a base hit today, but it's really been the success of the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Antonio Jimenez, Artis Rivera before he was pinched hit, and then Will Parker.
Will Parker, a solo home run today, a single. Also a walk, has scored 3 runs, driven in 1, of course, on that solo shot. But he'll be facing Zach Duenas, who has so far thrown in 4 games for the Kettleers this summer, just over 4 innings pitched, has allowed just 1 hit, 2 hit batsmen, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts, as he's held batters to a 0.77 clip against him, and has still yet to allow an earned run through those 4 appearances. It'll be Will Parker, right-handed bat, to face the tall right-handed thrower Zach Duenas, who just completed a season at Western Kentucky. He's headed to Southern Illinois, Edwardsville this upcoming season. Tosses a first pitch breaking ball that's at the top of the zone and taken for strike 1 by Will Parker. Already 2 for 2 today with a walk, as mentioned. Duenas comes set, takes a deep breath, and his 1-0 is a fastball that's hit high just beyond the infield into foul territory. Thatch goes beyond the bag and makes the grab. An easy first out of the bottom of the 8th for the Kettleers and Zach Duenas.
That's what Zach Duenas has done so far on the Cape, but the Kettleers has gone 4 2/3. Has only allowed 1 hit, has walked 3, struck out 6, and gotten a lot of weak contact. And it's exactly what he did in the Valley League as well with the Percival Cannons. Struck out 17 hitters in 8 2/3 and was a key cog in the back of their bullpen.
Johan Dessler takes low inside on the breaking ball.
I like
Yeah, you're right. Duenas was stifling in the Valley League. He was in the back of the bullpen for Percival, and that's a team that has gone really far in the Valley League this summer. As Duenas turns and fires with the 1-0, it's a fastball.
Percival making it all the way to the VBL championship. It did lose just a night ago against the Charlottesville Tom Sox.
2-0 from Duenas. Desero gets underneath it, pops it up into foul territory. It twists out of play beyond the on-deck circle of Wareham. And that will take a big hop behind plenty of fans who are sitting in their lawn chairs just behind the Wareham dugout on the third base side. Kettleers fans in the grandstand that's elevated above the Kettleers on-deck circle on the first base side. And of course, there's either dugout down either baseline going out towards the first and third base. Bags on this infield, 2-1. It's a 3 count to him. Desero today is 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, a flyout, and a ground out. One of the only Gatemen and the only Gateman in this starting lineup to not reach base. 3-1. Hammers this one down the right field line. That is twisting into foul territory, though, into the vines deep down the right field line. Would have been extra bases if he straightened that one out, but it'll be a 3-2 count for him against Duenas.
That's a scary pitch to Johan Desero, a pitch that high elevated right on the inside corner. Desero turned on it and laced it foul.
The payoff pitch is a fastball hammered on the ground towards Tanner Thatch. Takes it on 2 hops, underhand flips to Duenas at first for the crucial second out in this bottom of the 8th inning. So Johan Desero falls back to 0 for 5 on the day. And here comes Colby Turner.
Now batting the left fielder, number 12.
Nice job by Duenas, who coming into the game, working weak contact, got the pop-up of Parker, and now the easy 3-1 put out of Johan Desero, and just 1 out away of working a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th, exactly what this Kettler team and this pitching staff needed.
Duenas from the windup. Turner fans through a first pitch breaking ball down 0-1. Turner is 1 for 3 today. Had a 2 RBI double back in the 4th inning. Also took a hit by pitch an inning before that. Other than that, has flown out to the outfield a pair of times. And he is facing Duenas, who has already got 2 quick outs in this 8th inning. Odds up and down a couple of times ahead of this 0-1 offering. Here it comes. Gets away from everything and goes back to the backstop. It'll be a 1-1 count to Colby Turner.
I was kind of. It's not the hat.
Colby Turner, an incredibly productive year at San Diego State this past season, a 361 hitter. Notched 44 hits and 122 ABs, and is taking his talents from Southern California to Michigan. Should be an interesting transition for Colby Turner, who graduated from Huntington Beach High School, also in Southern California, and making his way to the Big Ten as that one goes in and out of the glove of Grant J. And who knows if that one would have been called a strike, but 2-1.
Looked like that pitch was right down the middle, and Duenas threw it hard, just popped it in and out of the glove of Grant J, one that he's got to squeeze in.
Especially at this point in the game where we've noticed Grant J has really improved behind the plate. That one rocketed on a line to right field, perfectly placed is Nathan Hall to field that for the 3rd out. So a massive 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the 8th inning, work by the Kettleers and Zach Duenas. And they are going to try to put up some runs and some offense here when we come back in the top of the 9th inning. Can the Kettleers do it? Find out when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Luke Hansen leads off this top of the 9th inning for the Kettleers, and he'll be facing the man who got the final out in the top of the 8th inning. The St. John's right-hander Sam Mettert is back out there, and with the blonde glove, he comes set with it just in front of his chest from the stretch. Hansen takes the strike long away, and he's down to the count 0-1. So Hansen was a defensive replacement for Tyler Cerny a couple of innings ago. Tyler Cerny went 1 for 4 today. Hansen, the righty, facing the right-handed throwing Mettert, who's set once more, and his pitch is fouled away. To the right side off the bat of Hansen, and he's now down on the count 0-2.
Sunshine, aren't you supposed to be in the 3-4-3?
Hansen getting into a game for the first time since Orleans a couple of days ago, where he went 1 for 3. Before that, his last start wasn't until July 14th, as that one was up and inside blue counts, and it looks like that one may have caught him on the chest. It goes back to the backstop, and Hansen is heading to first in some pain. But nonetheless, the Kettleers will start off this 9th inning with a base runner.
Hansen looked to be in a bit of discomfort, trying to shake off his chest and looked to be his right shoulder. And fortunate break for the Kettleers is once again they have another leadoff man on. Had the leadoff man on Devin Taylor an inning ago and squandered that opportunity.
He has to go back. He has to go.
I think the sitting manager for the Gatemen right now was wondering if that one hit the bat in the entire Wareham dugout. Thought that one maybe clipped the bat of Luke Hansen. He's standing on first base and looks like he's going to stay in the game. But now before Timo Becerra's at bat, Mike Roberts just having a chat with him.
Could definitely see a bunt in store here. As looks like the Wareham infield Murph Gray at third base. In on the grass already, expecting it. But Timo Becerra ready today, having a breakout game. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Is also walked, but no at-bats have come at a bigger moment than this, with the leadoff man on Luke Hansen in a game that Cotuit was winning 8-0 all the way back in the 3rd inning of blowing that 8-0 lead.
Looking for their first run since the top of the 4th inning. Let's see if they try to advance a man into scoring position. Murph Gray is playing up at third, and the pitch. Becerra shows the bunt, pays it back, but it's still a called strike 1. Down at the bottom of the zone to Becerra. Dotted there by Mettert, who now comes set once more. Hansen with a very short lead at first base. Now he extends it by a step in the 0-1 pitch. Becerra rockets that one out. Sliding stab by Jimenez. He flips it. Second baseman does it, and there are quickly 2 gone on the top of the 9th.
I mean, there's just nothing you can do if you're Timo Becerra. You can't hit that ball any harder. Right back up the middle. Antonio Jimenez going into the slide. What a play that he made. Just like that, a 6-4-3 double play. That's a play that should be on SportsCenter. He made that play look easy, and all the momentum that Cotuit had with Luke Hansen getting on erased with one hard hit ground ball.
Here's Brandon Compton. The lefter takes a big putt and fouls one straight back into the fencing and is down in the count 0-1 against Sam Mettert. And we talked a lot about momentum, and it's really been Wareham who has had all of the momentum in the second half of this ball game. And a big reason for it is plays like that, as that is 3 straight innings where the Kettleers have grounded into a double play. Infield and outfield playing back, and then swats at that pitch and fouls it over the school. And now down in the count 0-2 goes the left-handed swinger out of Arizona State. We were talking about it the last time he was up, how frustrating it was for him to not be able to play at Arizona State. Took advantage of every opportunity he had as a sophomore, where he batted .354 in 45 starts this season for the Sun Devils. Now from the left side, he's down 0-2. Here it comes. So after allowing a leadoff on as Luke Hansen, Sam Mettert is able to draw the double play thanks to a nifty grab by Antonio Jimenez, and then the strikeout of Brandon Compton to put an end to the top of the 9th inning. The Gatemen are going to try to come back and win it when we return in the bottom of the 9th inning here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas Bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
He'll stand on the mountain.
Zach Duenas is back out there for the Kettleers to start off this bottom of the 9th inning. As the Kettleers have been blanked ever since the 4th inning. They took an 8-0 lead in this ball game. Brought that back down to 8-2 did Wareham. And then they initially cut it down after the 4th inning to 9-6 before tying it up in the 7th frame, 9-9. And they have scored 3 unanswered runs. And now Murph Gray, the scariest hitter in this lineup, will lead things off for Wareham. The first pitch from Duenas is up. Gray so far today is 1 for 4. Grounded out, lined out, and struck out after a single in the 3rd inning. It's this straight back row, came forward into center field. It takes 2 hits into the bar. Throws that into Jaron Adinkin. The Gatemen got exactly what they needed, a base runner.
Now let's see if the Gatemen capitalize on the same situation that the Kettleers had just in the top half of the inning. Cotuit got their leadoff man on. Then, of course, the 6-4-3 double play. And Wareham capitalizing on the momentum here with Tristan Gray getting that hard hit single. Is now it's Jacob Gerald digging in.
A pinch runner on first base for Murph Gray as the new batter is Jacob Gerald, as you mentioned. Hanson in on third. And that's a pink cut on the first pitch to Jacob Gerald on the first ball from Zach Duenas. An 0-1 count on Gerald, who is 1 for 3 so far today. An RBI, a run scored, a hit by pitch, and a single. Byram Hott was the runner at first base for Murph Gray. Takes a short lead there, now extends it to about 10 feet. Yes, throws back there. Thatch applies the tag. And he's back in there sliding. As the middle infielders will be playing back, Zach Duenas clearly looking to get a double play ball here on the middle infield. Timo Becerra and Jaron Advikula pinching the bag at second as Luke Hansen plays up on the grass at third. Swing and a miss at the second pitch from Duenas. 0-2 the count to Gerald.
On the way. Come on now. Hey, Cyril, people's hot.
Duenas, the tall right-hander out of Western Kentucky, appears in with the black and red glove, takes a deep breath after looking at first. And from the stretch, he kicks and deals. Misses above the helmet of Gerald. 1-2.
Hot with 20 stolen bases over the last 2 seasons at Marist.
On them, not
9 stolen bases this past year, 11 in 2023.
Gerald snapped a 2 for 17 streak his last time up with a single. A pitch away from Drake. Halifax over him into the screen. Rounding second and putting the brakes on there. Here's Byram Hott. And just like that, the Wareham Gatemen have a runner in scoring position with nobody gone.
That's just not a pitch that you can have happen in that instance. You're up in the count 0-2 and you spike a pitch in the dirt, takes a funky hop off Brett Jay, goes all the way back to the top of the fence, and Hott was taking the turnaround second, nearly thought about advancing to third.
The base hit could end it. Duenas takes a look at second. Now he peers home. Looks back once more in the 2-2. Compton is up with it. And Hott will be held up at third as the throw comes in. And Hansen cuts it off in the infield game. As it's a single for Jacob Jarrell, improving upon his day to 2 for 4. And the Gatemen will now have runners on the corners with nobody gone.
Gerald smoked that ball in the left field. Brandon Compton played it on a hop, and Hiram Hott had a lot of speed coming around third. And an interesting decision to stop him at the bag there, but now you have runners on the corners still with no out, and Cotuit forced to bring the infield in.
Hey, settle down.
And now Grant Jay will walk out to the mound to talk things over with Zach Duenas. Nobody from the Kettleers coaching staff is headed out there. This is a conversation just between Jay and Duenas, talking about how they want to attack the left-handed swinging Reese Chapman.
Oh, Layman. Where you at, baby?
Chapman going into this at-bat is 8 for his last 41 with 5 walks. Threw a walk his last time up in the 7th inning and came around to score, as every single run in this ball game proving to be vital. Kettleers will pull their infield in. Everybody playing on the infield grass with runners on the corners, nobody gone. Pitch from Duenas is hit hard on the ground towards Becerra. One hops there. Third, time. Runner moving up to second, and he will be on that safety as no one's covering the back. And they'll have the bases loaded with nobody gone. How did Hanson not be able to get a glove in there?
What a crazy play. It got off the third base bag. Becerra's throw was there. Hanson just missed the tag, and Jacob Jarrell was caught in between first and second. Jaron Advincula wasn't covering the bag, and then Reese Chapman was not even standing on the first base bag. Tanner Thatch was calling for that baseball, saying tag him out, but no one threw the ball.
Now the bases are juiced with no outs in this inning. Zach Duenas throwing to Eli Putnam, who takes a breaking fastball low and outside in the lefty batter's box. Straight backhand by Grant Jay, who slided to his right to make that grab, and it's a 1-0 count to Eli Putnam, who is 2 for 4 today, already with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Both teams struggling as the Kettleers have lost 3 straight games going into this one. Wareham scuffling, have lost 5 straight. That one misses low and outside at 2-0. So a hitter's count to Eli Putnam, who has a chance to put this game on ice. The entire Kettleers infield is in. Outfield is in as well. Duenas, the tall right-hander, comes set. 2-0. Taken for a strike on the outer edge. Putnam can't believe it. Neither can the Wareham dugout. And the count is 2-1.
Duenas attacking Putnam on the low and outside corner to the righty and just nicks the corner.
On the way.
Duenas set once more. Here's the 2-1 home. He kicks and fires. Putnam takes upstairs. Once the baseball is out of back and looking all the runners back to their bases, as that one nearly sailed everything and went back to the backstop.
Go back to the
Putnam, the right-handed bat, squats down in the back of that batting box as Zach Duenas comes set, takes a deep breath, and the 3-1. Launch from Eli Putnam, and he is the hero in tonight's game. They roar back from being down 8-0 at the start of this ball game and win it 10-9. The Gatemen snap a 5-game losing streak. The Kettleers' losing streak is extended to 4 games as they allow 5 unanswered runs and lose this ball game by 1 run. And now the celebration is underway for the Gatemen here on the right side of that infield.
Just an inexcusable loss if you're the Cotuit Kettleers and Mike Roberts' squad. You were leading 8-0 through 2.5 innings of play, and you knocked out the starter after an inning and a third after he gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, and everything was going so well. Cotuit had 13 hits after the first 2 innings, had 5 in the final 7 innings, and they out-hit Wareham 18-9. Anytime you double a team's hit total, you're usually expected to win that game, but the bullpen imploded today, and just another tough loss in a string of really bad performances. Cotuit finally got the offense that they were waiting for, broke the scoreless streak of over 20 innings back in that first inning where they scored 3 runs, and you finally get the offensive performance. You're feeling good, and then the bullpen and the pitching staff just implodes.
How big was it for Wareham just to get runners on base at the end of that ball game?
Well, it was massive, especially at the end of the ball game. It was only a matter of time. You could see the momentum starting to build. And, of course, anytime you grind into 3 double plays in 3 consecutive innings, that's going to spark a lot of momentum. But really looking back, it was that 4th inning where they scored 2 in the 3rd, but they came back and scored 4 in the 4th, and it looked like a brand-new ball club. As the fielding miscue by Tyler Cerny, allowing Aris Rivera to reach base, Colby Turner placing a 2 RBI double, and it was just the storm of everything not going the way of Cotuit and not getting the breaks, and things just broke the right way for the Gatemen.
Yeah, it did. And you look at the last 3 innings for the Kettleers, it's not like they weren't able to get base runs. They only left 10 on base, but it really could have felt like more than that with the way that the defense for Wareham played at us.
When they got the leadoff man, and every single one of those innings, Timo Becerra got on. Kevin Taylor reached on a walk. Luke Hansen got on with a hit by pitch, and you really just started to see the defense come alive. It was a 4-6-3 double play in the 7th, then the 6-4-3, and then, of course, the excellent snag back in that 9th inning by Antonio Jimenez on a ball that was shot right back up the middle by Timo Becerra. That was destined to get into center field, and if Antonio Jimenez doesn't make that play, it's a completely different inning. You have runners potentially on 1st and 3rd, but at least 1st and 2nd in the top of your order coming up. Guys, Brandon Compton, Nathan Hull, Tanner Thatcher all had excellent days at the dish. But Jimenez makes a play, and that's why he's playing in this league. He's such an excellent defender, and even when he doesn't have an excellent day at the dish, was 0 for 2, did reach twice on a walk. It was his defense that saved the game.
Cotuit saw great pitching performances in the last couple games, and they were shut out in back-to-back contests. And then when you look at tonight's game, didn't receive the pitching that they got in the last couple of days, but they got the offensive output that they needed. And so when you look at tomorrow's game, which ends up being a doubleheader against Falmouth, and when you look at the rest of these season standings too, still have a shot at first place, you likely need to win both of those games tomorrow against Falmouth and then likely Sunday night against Bourne. But what needs to happen tomorrow to win that resumed game tomorrow morning against Falmouth, where they were up 2-1 in the 3rd?
You have to play with a lead and really take momentum and take control of a ball game. You were up 8-0 today and just let it slip through the cracks. Offensively, didn't get really things done in the later stage of the game, and then the pitching staff just imploded. And you have to have that killer mentality when you're up 8-0. You need to continue to pour it on and can't take your foot off the gas, and the pitching staff just really struggled today. And you have to give credit to this Wareham team. They had lost 5 consecutive games coming into today's contest, and this was a team that never quit. It really looked like they were out after that 2nd inning when Cotuit scored 7 runs. They had 13 hits, and Wareham went 6 up, 6 down, and the offense really fired on all cylinders after that 2nd inning. And just a tough game for the Kettleers, and look to bounce back tomorrow against a Falmouth team that doesn't really have anything to play for. They're eliminated from the playoffs, but they're still playing competitive baseball. They captured a walk-off win tonight against Brewster, another struggling team, as they improved to 15-12 after their 9-8 victory. So things aren't going to get any easier tomorrow for the Kettleers.
And Hyannis and Bourne tying tonight after 8 innings at McKeon Park. So that tie definitely will throw a wrench into things when you look at the rest of the schedule for the rest of this season, but also the way that these teams are going to align in the West Division playoffs, as that picture is still yet to be painted, and it will be painted in the next couple of days as the Kettleers look to right the ship tomorrow in their doubleheader against Falmouth. But that's going to do it for our coverage here tonight from Spillane Field. A breaking point for the Wareham Gatemen as they stop a 5-game losing streak by winning this one 10-9, and after Brian Smythe gets ejected from the game, they rattle off 8 runs on the way to a 10-9 victory. The Kettleers are still looking for that turning point late in this season. They'll try to do that tomorrow against Falmouth. First pitch at 12 p.m. noon local time at Lowell Park. They'll continue that game with 2 runners on in the top of the 3rd inning. Falmouth will be hitting. The starting lineups will be the exact same, and we will bring you all of the coverage on the Kettleers digital network starting at 11:45 a.m. But thank you for tuning in to us tonight and spending a little bit of your Friday night with us from Wareham. Cotuit loses to Wareham 10-9. We'll see you tomorrow night when the Kettleers take on Falmouth. Good night, everybody.